Hey there, everyone. This is Zare.
And this is Lith.
Welcoming you back to 999.
999.
One more.
9.
Okay, so last time Snake died.
I know, it's so sad. If only we knew him a little more, I might care more. But
Don't deny it. You love Snake.
he was cool.
Okay, so steam room. Let's get searching.
Yep. We're in the steam room, and one of our team members has passed out again.
It's a square hole. Nothing in here. Look at the back wall there. I can see 3 small slots. Terminals for some sort of connector, perhaps. You mean you think we're supposed to plug something in here? Perhaps.
Extra brownie points to Hawk for the Galaxy Express reference. Retro anime for the win.
I'd say this is probably here to move coal from place to place. It probably comes from over there. And then the belt carries it down the tunnel and out here. So, if this conveyor belt was moving, yes, the coal would almost certainly come out here.
Where are those soot balls when you need them?
A golden gear.
That's quite interesting.
It doesn't look like it was always golden like this. Well, then I imagine it was prepared especially for this game.
What a very impractical thing to coat it in.
It looks like there's a door over there, in this tunnel. The belt over there must deliver the coal, which is then picked up and thrown into this door. The door appears to be welded shut, however. A huge bronze gear. This has to be important.
Maybe a level of importance?
Obviously a special, put it in your pocket. There's a small door in the side of this tunnel. It's welded shut and it won't open.
Good thing this room is not nearly as hot as it could be, or else that golden wheel
It's a silver
would have been
gear.
bad.
Do you think it's made of pure silver?
No.
No way. Silver's way too soft to use for a gear.
So is metal. Gold.
It's gotta be a steel or iron gear that's been coated in silver. Shouldn't have called it a silver gear then. Shouldn't have gotten your hopes up. You thinking you'd haul this thing back? Nah. But I think 7 could probably carry it, don't you?
Curious how we get the gold one in.
There's a pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them. Look, Ace. It's some kind of snowman secret meeting. Those are just bags full of sand. You use them as a counterweight when you're lifting something with a pulley system. Man, you're too serious.
He's taking his Santa nickname way too serious.
It is this. Given its placement, this must unlock the door to the left. There's a weird indentation on the top of this thing. You think that means you have to insert something here? Yes, I would imagine so. We haven't picked anything up yet. Oh man, Junpei, I can't believe I missed something so important. That's so important. Look at those stairs. Look at them carefully. That gap. That height. That angle. It's perfect.
What?
Perfect? Perfect for what? Whatever, just bring Clover here right now.
What?
Tell her she needs to walk up and down these stairs.
What?
Huh? Clover's not here. What the hell is he talking about?
I'm trying to figure out what he means too. Is there a reference or something that I'm missing?
Think of what she's wearing.
Oh! For fuck's sake. Pardon my language. Wow. My naivety is showing.
I believe this opening is for fueling the furnace. if we were to put some coal in here and ignite it, and the steam engine might start working? It's certainly possible. Oh, that's golden gear again. There are a number of these little windows along the inside of this thing. I think you're supposed to put coal in through these, but welded shut. I don't think we can get these open. Stairs stretch from the catwalk to the boiler.
What's a little parcel thing? What's a little parcel thing hanging from the rope?
2 boxes, both empty.
Mm.
There's a thick iron door blocking our way. You think this is... Yes. It looks like the exit.
Dum dum.
Looks like this door slides up into the ceiling. I have the feeling that these sandbags are going to be useful for these boxes, but we're missing something. There you go. The 3 sliders on the left arm are down. On the left are down, but this one is up. There are a number of lines engraved in these. I suspect we are meant to do something rather specific with them. Junpei, why don't you move that slider down?
I know what I mean.
Well, there's no harm in trying, I suppose.
And out comes molten metal.
Nothing. Nothing happened. Maybe it needs to be prepared somehow. You're saying if we did something somewhere else, it would respond somehow? Yes, I suppose that's one way of putting it.
There's 3 gears. There's 3
Levers.
normal...
Oh, yeah, gears too.
Yeah, 3 gears, 3 normal sliders, and then 1 circled slider.
The doors on the furnace. There's an A on it.
I agree, Hawk.
There could totally be harm in trying. There's a circular wheel in the center of the door. Alright, let's give that sucker a twist!
No, Twisty! Oh, Twisty!
Well, it's noisy, but it opens.
Nothing in it.
And it's totally pitch black in there. You should, go in here. Alright. Let's go.
Seriously? Oh, okay, yeah.
This looks just like the door we went into. Where are we? We must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we've yet to investigate.
Oh.
A bunch of boxes in my way. I can't get through.
Boxes!
The furnace for the enormous boiler. It says C on this door.
ABC.
There's a wooden box hanging beneath the catwalk. This damn pile of boxes is blocking my way!
Push him over!
There's a wooden box on the end of this rope hanging from the winch. Looks like there's something in the box. It looks like a hand-operated winch. It doesn't look like there's any way to, operate it. That means the wheel isn't attached.
Ah.
Oh, there's the B door.
Okay.
Well, anyway, looks like that's the pipe. Looks like the bottom connects to the conveyor belt housing. Then coal must come out of the pipe onto the conveyor belt. In other words, there must be a great deal of coal in that pipe. There are a number of boxes on the catwalk. I don't think we can go over there.
What's stopping you from moving the boxes? There's something in them?
Who knows?
He's not gonna look.
The stairs back down should be on the other side of these boxes. You have an excellent memory. Use that to draw a map inside your head. That way you won't get lost. Thank you, Ace. Oh, there's a wheel here. Alright, let's give the wheel a spin. What? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Yeah. Ah, shit. Good job, genius. You broke it. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself.
Mm-hmm. Or it's meant to come off.
Probably because I know of a place where that would fit if I could remember where it was. Ace, I thought I had a good memory. Help.
There we go.
And operated winch. No wheel to turn.
We have a wheel.
Got the wheel I pulled off the other winch, don't I? Let's see if it fits.
Probably does. Yeah.
Sweet. It's a perfect fit. Like they were made for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Not shaky at all. Good. I should be able to turn this now. Good work, Junpei. You should be able to haul up the wooden box now. You see? The wooden box. It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? It's hanging from the rope on the winch, isn't it? It looks like there's some sort of device in the box.
Wait a minute. You mean the one that was hanging on below?
Not sure what it is. Yes, the device that's hanging in the box that's below us. It's on a rope attached to this pulley. If you rotated the wheel, I imagine that the winch would raise it or lower it, depending on the direction you're spinning it. It being the box on the rope that's below us.
Okay.
At any rate, you might as well turn that wheel now. I'm counting on you.
Yes, I'm the only one who does anything around here. You guys just observe.
Alright, I'll turn the wheel. What's this? What happened? The wheel only turns to the left. It only turns to the left. That means we can't reel up that rope. Yeah. We can only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that will be a problem. Hello, Diego. Welcome to the stream. We will simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. I'll be counting on you, Junpei. Sure thing.
Hello,
No
Diego.
sweat.
Yeah. Hello, Diego.
I believe the box has reached the floor. Yeah.
He stuck his head out over the side of the catwalk and looked down. The box that had only recently hung just below the catwalk now sat on the floor. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor belt, near where June had collapsed. Junpei could see her, still leaning against the wall as if she barely had the strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it was not difficult to see that she had not improved. He almost thought he could see heat rising from her body.
She doesn't seem to be improving.
Ace's expression was inscrutable. He'd said that what they'd all been thinking.
Well, of course not. She's not going to just get better right away, you know. It'll take time.
He tried to desperately convince himself that what he'd said was true.
What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps? It's gotta be exhaustion.
Santa's response was confident and certain.
She gets dropped in some weird-ass ship, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know? So you're saying we're abnormal? Yeah. You're just running around this room solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual.
You leave the fourth wall alone, Santa.
How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs.
Santa snorted in disgust.
A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat? You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying? Dunno. But it does seem like a possibility, you know?
They stood there for a few more minutes, no one speaking, until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him.
Okay. So, downstairs. I know a door gets us down.
It's like, Santa, stop talking about the mechanics of this game.
I think he's speaking from the perspective of someone who's in it.
I know. It's just, you could say it is kind of a little bit of a jab. It's like, yes, we are perfect. We just went around solving puzzles. This doesn't bother us at all.
Oh, did that not lower them? Maybe on the other side. Oh, wait. I see a box. Box. Let's see what's inside. Control panel for something.
What's a something?
Oh.
Ooh. Words or scratches or something.
Nope.
Oh.
Maybe this hole is where the control panel goes. Well, there's only one way to find out. In you go!
And we blow up.
Dude, you did it. Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? The orange one? Yes.
You press it, Ace. Your arms aren't broken.
Alright. I'll do that. Pushing! Sweet! All sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing.
It's like being at work and having two managers.
Oh! Yes. I think I just heard something turn on. Oh? What's that? What happened? Junpei, look. The conveyor belt's moving. The conveyor belt?
Yes, that thing we looked at earlier.
Yeah, I guess it's done moving now. There's still a bunch of coal in the belt, though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped off the end of the belt into that wooden box where we found the control panel.
Oh.
Coal. Cool, huh?
Ta-da!
How to empty a box of coal.
You've been a very naughty boy. Santa, I feel you deserve to have this.
This is where the coal goes. Or would go if all three of these things hadn't rushed shut. One of these was open.
Mm-hmm.
A huge oven. This is a huge oven for the boiler. The 3 areas to it. Each of the open areas has a gear in it.
There we go.
So hold on, let's put coal into the furnace. If we can get some coal in there and set it on fire. Okay, let's do it!
Yay!
Alright, that's the last of it. No coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great.
We haven't set it on fire yet.
I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal into a cold furnace do anything? Ah, well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct?
Yes, that's usually how it works.
In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine and drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. This furnace is enormous. So we're gonna need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this.
And a lot more people. It's usually why there's hundreds of people
Well
in
then,
those
if the
places.
3 of us work together, then we should manage to fill it much faster.
Yes.
I want to help too.
Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to that?
Yes.
Yeah, right. You look, you're one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you'd better rest some more, alright?
But I...
No arguing! You need your rest! So you just stay there. We'll handle this.
Okay. I understand.
Alright. Time for some manly work! Let's get this coal into those furnaces!
Manly work.
Manly work!
Ugh. I can't help but think back to that scene in the Titanic with thousands. There's like hundreds of guys down in
This is a
those
lot
places.
of work.
Yeah.
Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Alright, now we just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches.
See.
What makes you think I have matches? I see. And how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh?
That would make sense. Just tossing a match in there every time would be not very efficient.
And probably a little dangerous.
Yeah.
This looks suspicious. Oh, unlocks the door, never mind. Pressions the outline of 3 circles laid on top of each other in a triangle. That's probably going to be important later. Yep. There's a bunch of wooden boxes over here by the wall. I already looked through those. There's nothing there. Don't
I
think
know,
it's
right?
dangerous. Coal takes a while.
It does.
Maybe in this case, but if there was like a lot of coal dust, like say after shoving a whole bunch of rough coals and having them grind against each other, it would light a lot quicker.
Plus, just thinking you have to throw a match in there. We have no idea what's in there.
Is this? I think it might be. It probably is. I think this is how we might ignite the furnace. That means that if we move that thing down... Alright! Let's do it! Here we go!
Here we go.
Hey Junpei, Ace, look at this! There's big gears turning under the boiler here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Eh?
Ah!
Rightmost 2 columns of dots used to be red and are now green. Yep. The gears. They're spinning.
Or they were.
What the hell are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking!
Looking?
Am I playing Mischief Makers after this game? I'd have to own Mischief Makers and an N64, unfortunately.
What's Mischief Makers?
Mischief Makers is a kooky Japanese game for the N64, where your main mechanic is picking things up and shaking them. I mean, that's what you build robot girls for, right? Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Those are probably going to be important.
Oh boy. I wonder if there's one in each wheel.
Probably.
Yep.
But there may be a time, Diego, once those problems are resolved, that I get to that.
Okay.
Okay, anything on the back of these?
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Or at least they're the same all the way through, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And it looks like
You
they'll
need to...
form a different pattern if we align them together. So I don't think the reds quite line together. Oh, we'll figure it out. There may be a time what? I don't own a Mischief Makers and I don't own an N64. If those problems are resolved, then I might play Mischief Makers, but that's a ways off.
Hawk just made a note.
Gold was in the bottom left corner, bronze was in the bottom right corner, silver was in the top right, in the top corner, in case that matters. Okay.
Thanks, Hawk.
The silver disc. There's a bunch of lines on it, but the red ones really stand out, right? The red ones, huh?
You have to complete the pattern, maybe?
Are you voluntelling someone, Diego?
Ooh.
Oh, there's also colors on the inside of the rim, so that probably solves that. Looks like this thing unlocks the door. There's a depression here that looks like it's the outlines of 3 circles laid on top of each other in a triangle. Maybe if we put those 3 discs we found into this thing. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in.
Nah.
Huh? That's odd. Nothing's happening. Maybe you're, I don't know, Putting them in the wrong places? Perhaps you have them facing the wrong directions.
Yes.
Perhaps you should rotate the discs to make some of the lines connect to one. Another.
Throwing him down the window.
Well, no harm in trying.
Let's take a look.
To a
Okay.
certain amount, when the white arrow is touched, the discs are switched. The discs are switched, the angles for the discs are reset.
Let's see. Here we go.
Bronze within the bottom right, okay? Oh, of course they don't line up because they're going to overlap.
Yeah.
That's why.
There we go. Yeah.
Red lines on these discs. I think maybe I can make a star polygon with these.
We just did. Why are you saying after? And the door opens. I'm throwing him down the window. You found it! Woo! We did it!
That was much quicker than the previous ones.
Indeed.
Yes! The door's open!
Given the circumstances, Junpei's happiness was certainly understandable. Ace seemed to share his excitement.
Alright, Junpei. Why don't you go get June now? Santa and I will keep an eye on this door.
Santa snorted.
Why do we need to do that? Even if it shuts, we know how to solve the puzzle now. We could just open it again. Well, I suppose that's true. Shall all three of us go and collect June then? Yeah, I'm cool. I'll let Junpei handle it.
He still seemed irritated by something, however, and sat down on the stairs, petulantly.
Only interested in being contrary.
Ace sighed with an air of a long-suffering parent.
Alright, I'll go get June. I'll be right back.
He gave a quick nod to Ace and Santa and dashed off down the stairs. Before long, he was back on the first floor next to the conveyor belt and June. As he drew closer, she stood up, slowly.
Are you okay?
He did his best to sound calm and nonchalant, but there was no hiding the genuine concern in his voice.
Yes. I'm fine now. I'm sorry I made you worry.
June blushed. He wasn't sure if she was embarrassed or still feverish. Just to make sure, he reached out and put his hand against her forehead.
Probably better that way than to try to force her to be embarrassed. Good. You're feeling a lot better.
She was feeling far less warm than she had earlier, but still wasn't down to what seemed normal to him.
Are you sure you're alright?
He had to be sure. June gave him a look.
Oh, you're such a worrier, Junpei.
Oops. I mean, worrier. I thought there was a typo for a second. I even tried to correct it. June giggled, and I laughed. He wasn't sure if she just made a joke or not, but seeing her smile again made Junpei feel at ease. If she was well enough to smile and laugh, then she really was feeling much better. He gave her a friendly poke on the forehead.
Let's go.
Go where?
Oh, right. I didn't tell you. We got the exit open, so...
Great! Let's go.
June clasped her hands and nodded urgently. As they walked back towards the exit, Junpei noticed Santa sitting on the stairs. Oh. He was, however, holding something in his right hand and staring at it with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowed down and finally stopped in front of him.
What are you looking at?
Santa answered without looking up, his voice quiet.
It's a photo. It's my sister.
Sister? Santa, you have a sister?
Santa simply nodded.
Yeah. Kid was as cute as a button.
June cocked her head, confused.
She was only about an inch tall then.
Santa glared at her.
Sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like half an inch?
Ugh. Santa didn't smile or laugh. He simply turned back to his picture and spoke.
I was your Santa Claus.
This sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. He had no idea what Santa meant. He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't know either.
Have you ever heard the story of the two Santa Clauses? It goes a long time ago there were two Santas. One of them wore white, and the other one wore black. The white Santa gave presents to good kids, and the black Santa played tricks on bad kids.
Oh.
They went on like that for a while, but eventually the black Santa's tricks started to get worse and worse. Pretty soon, the white Santa couldn't stand it anymore, and he stabbed the black Santa to death.
Good Lord!
When he stabbed the other Santa, the white Santa got blood all over his clothes. And that's why these days, his clothes are red.
Who the heck made that story?
You could say that red is all that's left of the black Santa.
Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. June was staring at Santa, sadness plain on her face. He continued.
I wonder which Santa I am. White Santa or the black Santa? Alright, let's go.
Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanor gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking two at a time. Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say.
Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving, come on!
Santa's voice echoed down across the room above them. They nodded and followed him quickly to the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. Looked very tired. The door had shut, but it wasn't cause for concern. Junpei quickly solved the disc puzzle at a second time, and the door opened once again.
I found it!
Yay! In single file, they walked through. After walking nearly 15 feet, they found themselves in front of a metal door. It opened easily enough, and they passed through it as well. A new room stretched out before them. Interesting.
Is this a warehouse? No, I believe this is a cargo room. This must be where they store all of this vessel's freight.
There are wooden crates everywhere. I wonder how old they are.
Junpei, Ace, and June had stopped unconsciously, pausing to take in the new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through the air Santa's voice broke through their momentary trance. Ah!
Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right? Let's get going.
Ooh, look for a foggy car.
A foggy car?
Fogged up car.
Seek a way out.
Oh, I see.
I
Titanic.
knew you'd figure it out eventually.
That movie I never saw. One of many, really. Box. There's nothing inside.
Lots of cargo.
These crates are quite large. They seem to be tied to one another with sturdy straps.
Yeah, makes sense. Stop them from wobbling.
There are a bunch of bags here. I wonder what's in them.
Hey, looky!
Card with the ninth man's face printed on it.
Interesting.
What's that? It's a card. There's a headshot on it. A headshot? Yeah. I'm not really sure what purpose this could possibly serve. There's another bag here, though.
Getting everybody's green cards today.
This is the only area with a fence around it.
Junpei, think you could go take a look at that? Sorry, but no thanks. Why? I've, got a bad feeling about it. Pussy. Okay, fine. I'll go.
Please be careful, Santa.
Yeah. But, just in case... Wait, what's he gonna do with that screw? I don't see what throwing a screw at a fence is.
See it?
Holy shit!
Yep, that's why.
This... Oh, man.
There's electricity running through that fence!
Smart guy.
Looks like it.
Then we can't get to the other side.
Well, we could jump off those crates, but we wouldn't be able to get back. Yeah, this is the song I was talking earlier to you off mic. Probably my least favorite of the entire soundtrack. Just because it's got that annoying blow dart sapping your attention at every turn.
Tense raising music.
I think we can get over the fence by jumping on those crates.
What are you saying, Joopy? There's a huge electrical fence flowing through that...
What?
Electrical
current
current.
throwing through that fence.
Sorry.
There's an electrical fence flowing through that current.
If you do that, you won't be able to get back.
If I can move some of those crates over there.
Are you sure you can move that? What if they weigh too much? Then what do you do?
Oh, yeah. Hadn't thought of that. I went to the box.
Yeah.
Baby box.
Does the fence run all the way down? I see there's a shadow cast by it. So is there like a little space underneath it? Or is that just an illusion by the, I don't know, perspective I'm looking at?
It's possible, but that's definitely not large enough for a person to get through.
Oh, yeah, no. But I don't know. Maybe slide something through? I don't know.
Chimpy, look at that crate over there. There's something on it, isn't there?
Yeah, looks like a coffin.
A coffin?
Yeah. Some kind of weird... Seems kind of weird to find a coffin here, right?
As if it's telling us to search here. I wonder what's inside all these crates.
Okay, that's that side.
Drugs. Aha! Another one. Ooh.
It's locked. We need the key. All the boxes have numbers on them. Do they... Oh? He bent down and picked up something that had been sitting next to the box. Junpei, take a look at this. Cards. Singular. There's some sort of liquid in these barrels.
Ugh.
I'm not sure what it is, however. Ooh, 2 cards.
Haha!
Hey, it's me.
Yay!
Hey, it's June.
Yay!
As
Collect
if we
them
were
all!
meant to be together.
Collect them all!
We've searched all the boxes. There's nothing in them.
9 was a shipper. Sorry, 0. Eh.
1. Or 0? Okay.
0.
Thought you were confusing ace for 0.
No.
This door leads to the steam room.
Aha! Snake! You left us too soon!
Snake? Snake?
Snake! You're gonna do that!
These stairs, they go up 3 stories.
It's a lot of stairs.
What are you waiting for, Junpei? Whatever, I'm going.
Yay! You're doing some running around this time.
This is the only door here, except for the one we just came through. And this is the exit. No shit, Sherlock. Of course it's locked. Is it an electronic lock? No, just a keyhole, right at the doorknob. So to open this door, we've got to find that key that fits that keyhole.
Or slam
Yeah.
it really hard.
Oops. Boutons. Monitor's off. I've got a green shit. Let me try that one again. Got a green switch here and a red one. And some kind of lever. None of them seem to do anything though. Maybe the power's off? Yeah, maybe. There's a single green light on the bottom though. That means... And there are 9.
Ta-dam!
Oh, there's 6 holes here. They look like jacks for a headphone cable. Jacks, huh? Maybe if we put something in them. Yeah, sure. Something might happen.
Anybody got headphones?
There's several lights here with numbers from 1 to 9. Only light with a 9 on it is lit. This looks like it's covering something. Looks like some kind of little shutter. Maybe it'll open if we do something. What's gonna come out of it if it does open? Yeah, I'd like to know that. Item. So we're currently at 8. If those buttons do correspond... Oh, this gets you turned around right quick.
Whoa.
Then there should already be one here. There's some numbered boxes and cards with pictures of all of us.
Does that mean we need to collect the cards we don't have?
Okay, there's still one hidden somewhere. Nope, I didn't click that box.
Oh.
Aha!
There we go.
Red triangles at the bottom, like they should be inserted into scanners. Yep.
Here we go.
They had finally collected all 9 picture cards. All that remained was to insert the cards into the slot at the bottom of each box.
Front of each box.
Junpei stared at the cards in his hands. Ace peered over his shoulder at them.
You know which card goes in which box, yes?
Junpei gave him a look.
Yeah. Of course I do. It's really obvious. You just match our numbers to the numbers on the boxes. So, for instance, the card with the picture of Ace on it goes into box 1. The card with the picture of Snake on it goes into box 2, and so on. I see.
Junpei thought he might have imagined it, but he could have sworn Ace stiffened.
I'll leave the rest to you.
Can he not read? He quickly turned and walked away. Strange, Junpei thought.
Oh well, whatever.
Doing his best to clear his mind for the task at hand, he turned back toward the boxes. It was time to solve the puzzle of the 9 boxes. 9 cards with pictures and 9 boxes. Junpei stared at them for a moment and then began. Ace's card went into box number 1. Then Snake's went into box number 2. Santa's card into box number 3. Clover's into box number 4. Junpei's into number 5. June's into 6. Seven's into 7. Lotus's card into number 8. And finally, the 9th man's card went into box number 9. As soon as he inserted all of the cards... Ooh, all 9 lids opened at once. He peered inside. In each box was a single pin. It looked like little sewing pins, but much thicker. Junpei collected all them quickly and shoved them into his pocket. Ooh. Pretty.
Look like the kind of pins you use for sewing. There are 9 of them in total, and they have numbers on them that run from 1 to 9.
You think it might go in the jacks?
Yep. But there's only 6 holes. There's 6 holes here. And it looks like the pins I just found would be a perfect fit for them. The ones you found in the 9 boxes, right? Oh, why don't you try it? Alright, let's see what happens. I think 2, 4, and 6 should go here on the top part. 3, 5, and 7 on the bottom part. Well, some of them lit up. Yeah, 3 and 6. I wonder if there's some kind of rule that determines which lights go on. Well, I put the 2, 4, and 6 pins on the top part and the 3, 5, and 7 pins on the bottom.
We're trying to find a root number again?
You think... I think maybe it's the digital root?
Yep.
It's the digital root. Whoops. The digital root. 2 plus 4 plus 6 equals 12. The digital root of 12 is 3. Therefore, light 3 turns on. 3 plus 5 plus 7 equals 15. The digital root of 15 is 6. And therefore, light 6 turns on. Makes sense, right? I see. The lights that match the digital root of the pins inserted on the top and lower parts will light up. That's how it works. Well, there's one other thing I'd like to check. Well, if he wants to try, he's certainly welcome to. So, you put the 1, 2, and 3 pins on the top and the 6, 7, and 8 pins on the bottom. Oh. You turned off. 6 plus 7 plus 8 is 21. The digital root of 21 is 3. Therefore, light 3 turns off. 1, 2, and 3 is 6. The digital root of 6 is 6. Therefore, light 6 turns off. Oh, I get it now. If the digital root for the pins you insert is the same as the number on the lights that are lit, those lights turn off. Yeah, looks like that's the trick. Alright, now we know how it works. You want to give it a try? Wait, you mean you know what we're supposed to do with these lights? Well, no, but I figure we could try and see if we could turn them all on, you know? I figure something's got to happen if we can manage that. Turn on the lights, huh? Okay, Junpei. Let's make sure we know how this works, alright? Pick one of the 6 holes, then pick one of the pins in your hand and insert it into the hole. Keep it up until all 6 of the holes are filled. Once all the holes are filled, the lights with the numbers that correspond to the digital roots of the pins in the upper and lower parts will turn on. However, if the digital root corresponds to a light that is already on, that light will be turned off.
Oh.
The goal is to turn all the lights on. Alright, let's do it!
Okay.
You certainly won't be turning off all the lights. Okay. So, let's go for 1 then. And then to get that, well, they're not getting 2 this round. This is the catch. You can only do 2 numbers around.
Okay. Whew.
That'll get us 3.
Mm-hmm.
Seven. That gets us 12, which is 3. 2 rows of pins that have the same root? Yeah, probably nothing. Okay, so to get 2, we'll want 11. And can we get 8? Our options would be 17. So we can get that 9 in there. Wait, here we go. 7 and 10.
Okay.
6 and 7. And we might have to redo some here, but we'll see how it goes. So we could do 1, 2, and 4 for 7. And to get 6, we need 17. Or not 17, 15. I think we can do that. So 15. Yeah, right there.
There we go. You got an F.
Passing mark!
Nice.
Well, the lights are on, and the shutters opened up. Hey, does this mean... Yeah, we gotta do it again.
What?
Man, I thought I was doing so well.
What's wrong?
Okay, so we've got 9 holes.
Oh, over
And
there.
there's an F up above them. I don't know what that F means, but I do know one thing. What's that? This time, there are 9 holes. So we need to insert 9 pins. And that's boring. Well, why don't you just try it, alright? Okay, so F would be hexadecimal. Oh, okay, I get it. F is hexadecimal 15. Let's make 15 in all these rows and diagonals, and that's actually incredibly easy to do. Just put that 5 in the middle, and then make 10 on all the opposing slots.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
But that doesn't seem to have done it.
Interesting.
Okay, what else could F mean? Rows? And all the rows, columns, and diagonals. Oh, the rows and columns. Right. Whoops. Good catch. Thanks. Okay, let's roll this back a little bit. So I gotta get 15 in all the rows and columns. So 1 and 8 should probably pair up. It's 11, so this is 9, 6. Should be at 3 or 7. 5. No, this doesn't quite add up. Maybe 1 and 9 shouldn't be in the corners. That's 9, so that should be 6. That's 8. That's 7. There we go.
Oh.
There we go. All pins inserted, all lights lit. We did it. The power's on now. Looks like there's electricity going to the monitor on top now. Alright, let's see if we can activate the device on the top. A green button, a red button, and a lever. I don't know what these do. I think this might help. What the hell is this? Where did you find this? What is that? Where'd you find it? I found it when you were messing around with the pinholes. Looks like instructions for this thing. According to what it says here, this thing's a remote control for that. That?
The fence?
Yeah, that. What's he playing? Oh. That machine over there. Apparently it's called the Pushmaster 5000.
Eh.
Are you serious? Oh, whatever. So, what are we supposed to do with the Pushmaster 5000? You see this coffin over on top of the crates? Yeah? Don't you want to know what the deal with it is? I do. You want to check it out? Yeah. Alright. How do you think we're going to get there? Well, there were some crates on the right side of that fence that someone piled up like stairs. Maybe we make a path to the coffin from there. How would we do that? Line up the crates, I guess? Yeah, that sounds about right. I guess it's just another of Zero's puzzles. Yeah. Anyway, let's give it a shot. Oh, looks like the Pushmaster 5000 runs off a battery.
Oh, crap.
So to keep it from using up its energy too fast, it's been programmed so that it'll only start moving once its path has been completely programmed in. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Files on the Pushmaster 5000.
Pushmaster 5000. Oh. There it is. Third row.
Cannot move diagonally. If the Pushmaster's 5,000 move count exceeds the battery life, it will be reset. Cannot lift heavy objects. Okay. Now to show the top-down view of the area where we can move the machine. Once I went to send my order to the Pushmaster 5000, I just pull the lever. Release that button. Alright, let's give this a try. Sure thing. Just keep in mind that there's a limit on the battery, alright? The battery dies after 50 moves.
Crap.
At least, that's what it says in the manual. 50 moves, huh? Also, keep in mind that the Pushmaster 5000 can't move the heavy metal crates, okay? Got it.
Ooh.
5000 will push up to a single crate. Move the crates appropriately and efficiently and fill the yellow areas. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So we've got 50 moves, and the first thing we're going to have to do is push one of these crates in, because we can't push them up or down. That will lock them. Then we go around, and then we can push that. I think we want to go here first.
Okay.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Not there. This way, though. Let's just try things out.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So, we gotta move one of these into... We gotta get the middle ones. So... Do this. And I've gone and locked myself in.
Okay.
Okay, can I get it from here?
Ah, there you go.
Do I have enough moves? Just a
Yeah. Woohoo!
Okay, I'm done putting in the program. What do I do next? Just be
Green.
quiet and watch. See? It's moving already.
Ooh.
Go, Pushmaster 5000, go!
Go!
Awesome! The Pushmaster 5000 did just what I told it to and lined up all the crates. Great! Now we can reach that coffin. You just need to climb those crates over by the fence.
Oh boy. Oh, I see. Careful of the fence. What's in here? They walked slowly past the row of crates until they came to the coffin. They stopped and nodded to one another, and Junpei put his hand on the lid of the coffin.
Mommy!
What? What?
Just kidding.
What a dork! He smirked heartily at his own joke. Junpei grumbled and shook his head.
Whatever. Just open it.
Junpei resisted the urge to remind Santa that he would have had it open a long time ago if Santa hadn't interrupted, and quickly threw off the lid of the coffin. They peered inside. Contrary to what they had expected, the inside of the coffin was quite large. It was mostly empty, but not completely so. Laying on the bottom was a rusty key, and next to the key... It's a gun!
Yeah. A revolver. Looks pretty old.
I wonder if this is a replica. Junpei reached down and slowly and cautiously picked up the revolver. It's a gold revolver. In his hand, it felt heavy. He checked the cylinder. There were 6 bullets. He'd never seen a real gun, or even a real bullet before. He couldn't tell if these were real or not. The barrel was rifled, and nothing seemed to be blocking it. As Ace had said, the gun was a very old one. However, it appeared to have been well maintained. If it was a real gun, Junpei thought it would most likely function perfectly. If it was real. Holding the gun made Junpei feel unpleasant. Carefully, he placed it back in the coffin.
You're not gonna take it? Of course not. All something like this is gonna do is cause more trouble. It's a powerful weapon that gives one person a huge advantage. Something like that would be way too dangerous to have around. We're in enough danger already. Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Maybe Zero put this gun here, hoping something like that might happen. In other words, maybe he put it in here to make us fight each other.
In that case, we should most certainly leave it here. I, for one, have no desire to let Zero control me.
The others nodded. They had no desire to be under Zero's control either.
Okay, we've got that figured out. But you aren't gonna leave that key in there, are you? Yeah, of course I'm not.
Junpei picked up the rusty key and slid the top of the coffin back into place, and the gun back where they had found it. I would have taken apart the gun. It's a little weird to have a gilded gun. I wonder if there would be something else in it. Taking out all the bullets, maybe take the barrel out. I don't know.
Taking out the bullets would be a good precaution, but it also put a lot of pressure on whoever did it, because then they're the only ones who could use the gun. Give or take someone forcing the bullets out of them.
Well, that's what I mean, taking out the bullets and examining it. It seems like a weird gun, you know? It would really suck if it turned out that was like a key of some kind, and we just left it there.
Well, we haven't had to really take anything like that out. And anything that had to leave a puzzle room has been explicitly a key. Mm-hmm. A planetary key. Didn't see a planet symbol on that, so we're probably okay.
Probably, but, you know.
Just put this key here and... Yes!
Yay!
Looks like that did it.
Looks like it's open, Junpei.
I see. This key should open the door. Hey, what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Also, what if you meet Zero sometime? Well, we can, I don't know, clobber him.
Yes! It's opening!
Them, sorry. Don't know if Zero's a boy or girl. Them.
I found it!
You found it. The hallway that left the cargo room headed straight toward the stern. Junpei and the other three proceeded down it silently. Some distance along it, a large room opened up on the left-hand side. It looked familiar. An iron grate covered each of the elevators. Junpei and his companions drew to a stop and began to discuss what their next move should be.
We've seen this elevator before.
We got off the one on the left side just a little while ago.
And we went through the number 6 door, and that took us to the engine room. Yes, and after that we passed through the cargo room.
And now we're back here.
In other words, we made a loop. We're back where we started.
Junpei approached the elevator. Gently, he pushed the triangular button on the wall next to it. A moment passed. Ooh. Silence. The elevator door opened. And shut. Pushing the button had apparently restored power to the elevator. The elevator was now functional.
What do we do? Should we return to C deck? No, this hallway keeps going. Even if we do end up going back, I think we should see what's down there first. I agree. Let's go.
Their decision made, Junpei and his companions left the elevators behind and continued down the hallway. Sometime later, Santa, who had been walking several paces in front of the rest, suddenly stopped. Set in the wall in front of him was a door. So far as Junpei could see, there was no other way to proceed. It was the door or nothing.
All right, let's open it.
Junpei took a deep breath, readied himself, then grabbed the doorknob and pulled the door open.
So much animation budget for doors.
I know, right? He paused for a moment, then stepped through into the room. And there he saw the number that had hung over their heads since they had woken up. 9. Like the numbers on every door, every other door, this one too was a rough shape made of red paint. The door was set into the back of the wall in the back wall of the room. Junpei leapt toward it with a sudden burst of hopeful energy.
I was totally not pulling the door open. That was pushing the door open.
Whee! It was a large double door, heavy and full of solemn importance. He grabbed hold of the door handle and shook. Nothing. But he hadn't expected it to open. The red sat on the wall next to the door. Its screen read vacant. Finally, they'd found it. Junpei felt himself overwhelmed by a torrent of emotion. At last they found the exit, but cold gripped his heart, and he knew all too well why. As he stood frozen, unsure of what to think or feel. Junpei! Look! Behind you! He spun around and couldn't believe what he saw. It was a door with the number 9 written across it. What was there? A second door.
Why?
Junpei's voice was barely audible even to himself. He stumbled toward the second door, as if somehow compelled. It was a small single door. It sat in the starboard corner of the room, on the same wall as the door they'd entered from, but in the opposite corner. 9. There was no mistaking it. A red sat on the wall next to this door as well. Junpei shook the handle pointlessly and muttered to himself.
Why the hell are there 2 doors?
It was Santa who answered.
There are always two doors. Just think about it. Zero never said there is only one door with 9 on it.
Ah.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9. Of course, we just assumed that there was only one. After all, why would there be more than one? Oh man.
Jeez. Junpei was stunned. Zero's trick had taken him completely by surprise. There were 2 doors. That meant that all 9 people who had met at the central staircase could escape and leave no one behind. Now the reason for the bracelet numbers being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 was clear. Divided in 2, the digital root for both teams would be 9. For instance, 1, 2, 7, 8 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. The digital root for both teams would be 9. Or 2, 3, 4, 9 and 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. The digital root would also be 9. There were many other workable combinations, but they all ended the same way, with the digital root of 9. What did it mean? The answer was quite simple. From the very beginning, the Nonary game was designed to save all 9 people. Zero hadn't been lying. Zero had never said there is only one door. But anyone who founded themselves in the game would have assumed that that was the case. Fights would have broken out. One team would likely betray or deceive the other. Someone might be hurt. Someone might get killed. But eventually, they would reach the room Junpei now found himself in and realize the pointlessness of whatever violence they visited upon each other. There were 2 doors. No one need kill each other. They'd understand and be appalled, overwhelmed with guilt at what they'd done. Perhaps that was the purpose of the game. That was how the Nonary game was meant to be played. Fortunately, they hadn't started to fight one another, at least not yet. And if one misstep was made, if the wrong mistakes happened, the stakes would rise and the noose would tighten. The thought of it sent a chill down his spine.
So, what are we gonna do, Junpei?
A voice broke through Junpei's frantic thoughts. Santa's voice. It brought Junpei back to his senses. No use worrying about the future. He needed to figure out what they were going to do next. There were 4 people in the room. Ace, Santa, Junpei, and June. Their bracelet numbers were 1, 3, 5, 6. The digital root would be 6. In other words, the 4 of them couldn't open the door with the number 9. But what if there were only 3? Could door 9 be opened with 3 of them? It took him no time at all to determine the answer. There was only one combination of 3 people that would give a digital root of 9. 1, 3, 5 equals 9. That would mean...
No! We gotta go back!
That wasn't a possibility he was willing to consider. Ace and Santa agreed.
Yep. I agree. We cannot leave June behind.
Junpei let out a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding. Are you sure? I don't mind staying. June's body betrayed her true feelings. Her eyes were wet with the beginnings of tears and her legs shook.
It's okay. There's no way we'd leave you behind.
Santa had said what Junpei had known the moment he realized which 3 people would go through the door.
Besides, I'd rather drown at the bottom of the ocean than escape with this sausage fest. Maybe I'll get to go to Atlanta. Are you sure you don't mean Atlantis? Oh, right.
Perhaps it was the sudden reassurance that no one wanted to leave June behind, but Junpei laughed harder than he had in some time. Santa and Ace smiled. You guys? June blinked tears from her eyes and bit her lip. She didn't seem to know what else to say.
Very well. Best we head back to C-Deck, then. We should be able to take the elevator we passed earlier. Perhaps Clover, Seven, and Lotus will have returned from door 1.
They haven't killed each other yet. Even as Ace spoke, they knew finding the others wouldn't improve the situation. There was no way they could be split into 2 teams that could go through the doors. Ace knew it. They all knew it. But there was nothing else they could do. They would find the other 3 and search for another solution.
All right, let's go.
Ace looked at all 3 of them, then turned and headed through the door. Santa and June followed. Junpei started toward the door, then stopped. He'd been too busy with the other concerns to notice the room itself. It didn't seem terribly important now, but what exactly was it? Junpei looked around the room for the first time, noticing things that weren't doors with 9 on them. A red carpet ran between 2 columns of wooden benches that ran the length of the room. The church? A chapel? The carpet began at the large set of double doors and ran toward the bow, Junpei wasn't sure. Was it an altar, perhaps? There was a small rectangular alcove at the end of the carpet, and inside the alcove was a raised platform. Resting on top of the platform was a coffin. A coffin. A coffin. What on earth was a coffin doing in a place like that? But before Junpei had time to answer that question...
Hey, Junpei. How are you doing? Let's move.
Santa's voice echoed in from the hall outside.
Right. Okay. I'll be right there.
Junpei turned on his heel and left the quiet, somber room. Knock, 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 knock. What the? What the? What? What? Okay. Bye, knocking coffin. They took the elevator to C-Deck. Once there, they headed back toward the main hall and the central staircase. It didn't take them long. Junpei found Seven and Lotus waiting for them. They didn't look happy.
We've got a problem.
Clover is gone. Junpei and his 3 companions looked at one another. He turned back to Seven and Lotus.
What do you mean, gone?
Santa, Ace, and June had their own questions to ask.
When?
Why?
You 2 went into door 1 with Clover, didn't you?
Seven and Lotus responded as best they could.
Yeah, we went through the door together.
But Clover barely spoke to us.
She just did her own thing the whole time.
There were 4 rooms on the other side of door 1.
She wouldn't let us into the 4th room.
She just said, I'll take care of this one.
And shut the door.
She must have blocked it with something on the other side.
We waited for a while, but Clover didn't come out.
We called for her, but she didn't answer.
So I kicked down the door. We went into the room.
But
It was empty.
Clover wasn't there.
There was a door on the other wall.
And it was open.
We figured she opened the door and left by herself.
We ran after her, of course, but...
Well, obviously we didn't find her. We figured that much out.
Clover's gone. Junpei thought for a moment.
When did this happen? We got here just before you.
You certainly have excellent timing. So, you haven't searched anywhere other than near the staircase?
No, we haven't.
Finally, Ace spoke. His voice had an edge of resolve and concern.
Very well, then. We'd best separate and look for Clover. We haven't much time left. Let's begin!
There were quick nods all around, and the 6 remaining players spread out. Junpei and June ran into the central hospital room and looked around.
She's not here.
No, she isn't. They searched a little longer, but with no luck. They couldn't find Clover. Finally, they gave up and left the central hospital room. Slowly, they made their way back to the hallway. At last, they reached the stairs, and Junpei spoke.
All right. I'm thinking we should probably split up. I'll head back to the stairs and take the elevator down to E deck. June, you can take the stairs up to B deck.
All right. That sounds good. But,
What?
could you stop calling me by that code name when we're alone?
Huh? Oh, sure. Right. I'll do that.
There was a reason Junpei persisted in calling her June, even when they were alone. Although perhaps not the best reason. He was embarrassed to call her by the nickname he'd used when they were children. Canny. 9 years ago, it came naturally after all. They were children. But now that they were adults, it felt strange. Regardless of what he might hope for, to call a woman he wasn't dating by such a childish nickname felt odd to him. Of course, to call her Miss Kurashiki would be even more awkward, and simply Kurashiki would seem a little brisk. And although he couldn't put his finger on why, it felt somewhat forward to call her Akane, when they hadn't seen one another for so long. In short, it was simply easier for him to call her June, and leave it at that. All right, I'm going then.
Yeah. Be careful. Canny.
June, or perhaps more appropriately Canny, blushed and smiled. You be careful too, Junpei.
Yeah. Got it. Take care.
Aw, you're right, that animation is so cute. Junpei looked after her a moment as she ran up the stairs, then turned around and took off for the hallway. Fancy stairs. Fatal ellipses. Tragedy always strikes when one least expects it. But to wait for a man to stand before striking him down seems a lot crueler than dealing the fatal blow when he lies on the ground. A light in a dark place, June's smile had given him hope, both for escape and possibly for something else. It was that hope that raised his spirits just enough that they might soon be fully dashed. He opened the elevator door, and there she was. A woman sat slouched against the wall. Lotus. Junpei felt his blood turn to ice. Her body was limp, and her skin smooth and pale as always. Dun dun dun. She was covered in bright red blood. Junpei felt his chest constrict. He couldn't breathe, and his legs began to shake. A slow, cold drop of sweat trickled down his back. He felt his stomach somersault. Junpei's mind went blank, all his thoughts replaced with endless hissing white. Driven by little more than instinct, he began to walk towards Lotus slowly. Each slow movement of his stiff limbs brought him closer to her corpse. Finally, he stood next to her. Robotically, he bent down and put his hand against her neck. There was no pulse, no rise and fall of breathing. She was slightly warm. Something, somewhere in Junpei's shaken mind told him that meant she had been killed recently. Yes, Junpei thought, his mind slowly returning. She had been killed. Someone had killed her. There was a deep cut on the left side of her chest. Blood still oozed from it, although clearly her heart had stopped beating some time ago. The weapon had been a knife, then? Perhaps she had been stabbed in the heart once. She would have died immediately. He took little comfort from knowing she must have suffered very little. Only then did Junpei notice Lotus's bracelet was gone. Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1, you escape from the ship. 2, your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship or detects that its wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. Was that why the killer had ended Lotus' life? So that they might have the number 8 bracelet? If that was true, then the killer was whoever wanted the number 8 bracelet. Or perhaps more accurately, the person who would gain the most by obtaining bracelet number 8. Who was that? Who would benefit the most from the number 8 bracelet? The thought had only just entered Junpei's mind when... Oh, shit! He heard a noise. A sound like a sharp knife cutting through wet meat. It struck him as strange that the noise came from inside his own body. A moment later, the pain hit him. It wasn't merely pain, there was heat, extreme heat as well. He felt as though molten iron had been splashed against the side of his body. Finally, his brain made the connection. He had been stabbed. But where? His body was quickly going numb. He couldn't tell where the knife had met his flesh. Given the circumstances, however, he had most likely been stabbed in the back. Whoever had killed Lotus had now done the same to Junpei as well. His voice was little more than a weak groan. With what little strength he had left, Junpei turned his body, trying to catch a glimpse of his attacker. Messy. But as he did, the knife dug itself deeper, twisting viciously. Oh dear. He collapsed to the floor, a puppet with its strings cut. His arms and legs lay where they fell, oddly twisted and awkwardly positioned. Junpei's body was entirely numb. He could feel the blood leaking out of him, but nothing would move. Nothing save his eyes. As he lay on the floor, life ebbing away, Junpei finally saw his attacker. 2 tiny images of the killer reflected in his eyes. With that recognition came nothing. He felt no emotions, not anger, not sadness, not regret. The paralysis that had claimed his body had reached his mind. His killer glanced down at his body. Crap. Then, without a word, climbed into the elevator and was gone. Sorry. His eyesight began to fade, the world grew blurry, and began to dissolve into an empty white fog. The fog crept into the edges of his mind and worked inexorably inward. Soon, it swallowed up the last of what remained of Junpei's mind, and his consciousness left him. There was nothing more. Into utter emptiness he fell. Into 0. Whatever Junpei had been was gone. Bad end! Nah.
Well, that went well.
Nice. I feel like we really didn't get much of a choice, but okay. Lame. You have reached one ending. This game has multiple endings. Oh, really? In order to experience all the endings, you need to save now. Once you've saved, you can restart the game with information you've acquired in this playthrough. Once you begin the game again, you can skip through text you've already seen. Simply press right on the control pad to fast forward the lines.
Hawk says, "Wow, glad I told you this was the bad ending. Wouldn't have known otherwise."
I know, right? Okay, so now we can skip through dialogue.
Only stuff that we've read, which is nice.
Yeah. Once you reach lines you haven't seen or new choices, it will automatically stop. Memory of Escape has been added on the title screen. Enables you to play the stages you've completed. It is recommended to save after this in order to unlock Memory of Escape. Yay!
Congratulations, we have achieved the knife ending.
The knife ending. Not to be mistaken with nice.
Continue or begin with memories? Let's see what continue does.
Something like
Prologue,
we
yeah.
wake up like some guy that has a groundhog syndrome, like, I've been stabbed. Crap. Okay, what did I do wrong? This game is fiction. Just in case you weren't
In total,
sure.
there are 6 endings, Hawk.
Wow.
Let's try that again.
Whee! Okay. This is where we opened. It's nice that it allows you to kind of go through it all over again. At such a, fast pace, which is nice. Yay! It doesn't make you do puzzles all over again, too. Good. Is it gonna make you do that again?
I will say this. The sequel gets this done much better.
Ah! Seriously?
But we have an advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's one. Oh my gosh. Where's that suitcase? Ah!
Oops. That's not what I thought it was. Okay. Gotta learn the puzzle again. Okay. Oops, no, not this.
Go driver. Here, back of the picture. The screwdriver, right? Yeah. Meh.
Okay. So, bottom left and around and square and then filled. Okay, so that's... let's get the blue first. So that's 0. That's 2.
quickly.
6 and 4 or 3. 0, 2, 6, 3.
Oh, my eyes.
Thought this didn't go to 6. Okay, this one goes to 6. Oh, I should probably have opened that blue one. I got the combo, now to go to the next briefcase. Okay, what is it wanting me to do again? Oh, it needs me to show them the red cards too.
Okay.
Come on. Okay, I guess I have to hit the thing instead of the lever I'm actually going to pull.
Mm. And we're out. Ah! Water everywhere! And all these people! Guy with his... Yep. Okay. Hello, Zero. Hmm. Whee! This part again. Okay. Ooh. Pain. Okay.
Everyone got all that? Good. So before we continue on, there's one thing that I want to mention, and that's localizations.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. There's one person's name that I didn't get to during that whole spiel during the first episode, and that's the Ninth Man.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Kyuban no Otoko, which literally means the Ninth Man. I have no idea why I mentioned this. I'm sure it won't be important at all. Anyways, shall we change it up?
Sure. Let's say...
All of these are valid, so who should we get to check?
Let's try... I'm curious about Santa. Let's try Santa and June.
Santa and, June. You think you can give me a hand here?
The pun was a little too on the nose, but the mood was still grim. Both Santa and June lifted their left hands silently. He verified, and she followed suit. 5 + 3 is 6. They fulfilled the conditions. If they were to pull the lever on the side, and they did.
Are you guys ready? I'm gonna open it.
Junpei grabbed the lever and looked back over his shoulder. They stiffened and nodded. Junpei nodded back and set his mouth in a grim line. Then he slowly opened the door.
This is all stuff that we've already caught up to.
Yep.
We've remerged with the main line again.
Yep. And it's like, it's so evil. And then she faded. Because it's like, so horrifying. Because guts and everything. Wee. Lots of blood. All right.
Well, I mean, only one of these is the truth.
Yeah.
Was Junpei an idiot?
No. Yaha, snake. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's correct, Hawk. Gray lines you've chosen before.
That's nice that they let you know. Hmm. All right.
Didn't I get this wrong last time? Let's add it up just to be sure. So it's 11, 17, 22. So that's 4.
Right. Okay.
All
I
right,
guess let's do the other one.
Actually, I think we're going to go in the one that we did before.
Yeah, okay. Oh, because there'll be new puzzles? Okay.
No, I just like what's behind number 5.
Ah.
Delicious spaghetti.
Also, can't we pick up his bracelet? I wanted to pick it up before, but it didn't seem like an option. Ugh. Run to the other side. Alright, we're good. Wait. I want to get the bracelet.
We're not given any options at this point.
Damn. Alright, here we go again.
Okay, let's see
Let's
if I can
find some-
remember.
Let's make some music.
And we'll be able to see if my theory is correct. Okay. Unimportant toilet.
Dirty water. Yay. There we are.
I just have to go through it a couple times. Yeah, this is solid.
There we go.
So that's why we needed this plate to do anything.
Ah, okay.
Actually, it also looked like it was blank, too.
Right. Like that. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun,
Oops.
No, down. No. Nope. Yep. Yep. And here we are.
It goes so much quicker when you're cheating.
I know. Whee! Does the music speed up? Okay.
It does not.
Okay. There we go. And another one. Whoa. Playing cards. Okay. To find the cards. It's like up there. Yeah. Right there. We have to do something where we lit them. Yeah, like that. The other one. Ta-da!
Love diamond heart.
Speed play! I'll put 20 on Jack.
It's so weird to click the spot you're going before the thing you're putting in. But that's how they do it.
I'm just trying to figure out how Zero managed to get this collector's ship, you know, from the person who originally bought it. Ta-da! Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The gigantic. I know you never saw the Titanic movie, but it is pretty cool having, if you have seen it, how a lot of these rooms look exactly like the replica rooms that they used for the films. It's like, wow, some of these I swear have been lifted from just the shot and just drawn over. Especially the shots of the stairs and the clocks. It's like it's like a perfect recreation of the same shot.
Someone did their homework.
Oh yeah.
Or two people, possibly. Maybe you just based it off the movie, and the movie is completely off base.
Well, I remember watching like those documentary ones where apparently these guys were sticklers about detail. That's why there was such a big
How about
deal.
the casino on B deck?
Let's go! Sounds like a good time. I feel like playing some cards. Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails.
Can I seriously not skip this? Oh, I can.
Yep, because we saw her already. And then
May as well.
we talk, and that's when she makes the suggestion.
Let's murder people.
Yeah. Alright, let's go to me.
Just speeding through this part.
Yeah, Ace was cool.
It doesn't look like changing the order really does anything interesting. We get to read out, hey, let's do X, and then June says, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Let's save at least. Or not? Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Someone other than the 8 of them.
Do you want to change your answer?
What do you think? Who do you know think fixed this thing for us? Zero.
I think it was probably Zero. Why? Isn't that obvious? He's the guy who set this whole thing up. You don't think that should mean the opposite? Seems to me like that means he didn't do it. I mean, who do you think took that stuff out in the first place? Probably Zero? Yeah, exactly. Then why the hell would he put them back in after he'd taken them out himself? It just doesn't make sense.
Maybe it's to confuse you.
Why do all the work?
Maybe to help conceal himself, because he...
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So what happened then? Who put that stuff back in the Reds?
furrowed his brow.
So, in other words...
Alright, so we finished.
We can finish searching.
Or we can go and check another one?
I mean, we haven't checked on Clover, but I'm sure she's fine.
Hey! Not sure.
You sure about that?
I don't know. We chose the other one, didn't she? Didn't we?
We did, and everyone eventually agreed with us.
Only three behind.
Our options are, what are they? 3, 7, and 8.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way we can get everyone in. We have to sacrifice someone.
Okay.
Hey, Clover caught up.
Hey, Clover.
You're a good man, Ace.
Yep. It looks like they're pushing each other.
Okay, so
Okay.
now we're going to make the story divide. Last time we chose 7.
Alright.
This time we're going to choose 8.
8.
I think I'm going to go with door 8. Okay, 8 it is. Yeah. Alright then. That means Jude's got to go through door 7. What? Why?
That was me. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Was that June?
Yeah.
The June/Pay curse strikes again.
Yes. Santa grimaced and muttered angrily to himself, but finally began to explain.
If the 6 of us are going to keep going without leaving anyone behind, there are only 3 ways we can do it.
I think we already went through this part.
It's not letting us skip, so...
I remember this part.
And yet...
And yet, it's not letting you skip Plan C. Numbers, 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 numbers.
And that's it. Those are our only options. In other words, 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 can never go through the same doors. You get it now?
Yeah. As Santa finished, June looked over at Junpei, tears welling at the corners of her eyes. Oh no. You saying we aren't going to see each other again for a long time? Junpei felt as June did. He wanted to be at her side through whatever trials they were going to prepare to face. But he knew if they were going to survive, he'd had to swallow his feelings. In order for the 6 of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. He looked at June. He was scared to lose her, but he swallowed, steeled his resolve, and did his best to smile.
Hey, come on. You're making it sound like we're never going to see each other again. We gotta split up, but only for a while. This is just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember? We got split up then too, but we all met back up. I'll bet 7 and 8 are just like that.
You mean they're connected somewhere?
Yeah. Probably.
Probably? She didn't sound very hopeful. It was 7 that interjected.
I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why? What makes you think so?
If they don't connect, neither team can get through door 9. In other words, the game would end right here. Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I don't think he'd blow it now. I'm damn sure that son of a bitch wants us to have his fun as long as possible. He's not gonna end this game until we get through the 9 door.
June said nothing. The tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Junpei. He met them, and with what reassurance he could manage, he laid his hand gently on her shoulder.
Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna see each other again. I promise.
June bit her lip and gave him an almost imperceptible nod. Yes. Promise? Her voice was barely above a whisper. Santa's voice shattered the moment.
You guys are done, right?
He stretched and continued.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Clover and I will go into separate groups. I figure I'll take 7 and Clover can take 8. Any problems with that, Clover?
Clover looked away and was silent for a moment. Whatever. It was more of a dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care.
Alright. Ready to go then. Let's move.
Yay! Into 8. At Santa's comment, the group split and headed to their respective doors. Santa, 7, and June walked toward door 7, while Clover, Lotus, and Junpei headed for door 8. Dun, dun, dun.
We get all the ladies.
Ooh! For a long moment they stood in front of the door. Then Lotus laid her hand against her chest and turned to Junpei and Clover. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Then shall we go? Ta-da! The door had opened. A narrow hallway stretched out before them. Lotus and Clover leapt through the door. The moment they did, their bracelets beeped. The detonators in the bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them, but as he was about to step over the threshold, he stopped. He looked to his left, toward door 7. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei. She turned and looked toward him. Their eyes met. They nodded. Their farewell took almost 1.5 seconds. That'd be terrible.
We don't have 15 seconds.
Yeah. The moment someone took hold of Junpei's arms and hauled him bodily through the door. And be strong women. Get in here! He heard the sound of the numbered doors slam shut behind them. His bracelet gave a cold electronic beep. 81 seconds left. Hurry! Lotus snapped at him and ran toward the dead. Junpei and Clover followed her as fast as they could. And we're safe.
Anticlimax.
It stopped. With a shaking hand, she wiped a few beads of sweat from her forehead. Clover, however, was calm. Aloof, perhaps. Pointless. She muttered to herself without emotion and began to walk down the hallway, leaving behind a confused Junpei and Lotus. Lotus watched the girls receding back with a mix of frustration and curiosity. What an unpleasant girl. I bet she's not very popular with the boys. Her sarcasm seemed a little more biting than was perhaps necessary, but she sighed and started after the younger girl. After taking a long moment to catch his breath, Junpei followed. The hallway made a number of turns before last coming to a dead end. Set into the wall on the left side was a large iron door. For a few minutes they stood in front of the door, examining it. Laboratory. Above the door was the plate with the word laboratory engraved on it.
Laboratory door, huh?
That doesn't sound very pleasant. I don't like the look of this place.
Me either. But there aren't any other doors. It's not like we have a lot of choices.
Junpei.
Huh?
Please, you first. Junpei suspected her politeness was motivated by something other than respect.
Yeah.
Junpei muttered to himself and pushed open the iron door. His first steps inside were tentative and careful, but as he examined the room, it became clear there was no imminent danger. Lotus followed him in, and Clover brought up the rear. Interesting. The room they found themselves in was divided into two separate areas by a curved wall. A thick glass window built into that wall made it possible to see into the other side of the division. Junpei walked into the window and looked through.
What the hell?
He wasn't sure what else to say. Wow. In the center of a room shaped like a quarter circle, a mannequin lay on what looked like a medical examination table. That looks so creepy. Junpei jumped a little. He hadn't noticed Lotus came up next to him. You don't think that thing is going to suddenly sit up or something, do you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, look at all those cables sticking out of it. If you press the wrong button, I don't know.
Stop it. Just thinking about it is terrifying. She was gripping her arms, the knuckles on her arms white.
Knuckles on her arms?
Yeah, on her arms, okay.
I believe those are elbows.
It was then that Junpei noticed Clover. She was still standing near the entrance of the room. Her face had the appearance of calm, but it was drawn and somehow sad. There was something almost pitiful about her.
Such is the life of an animu.
Animu. Junpei walked over to her and, as kindly as he could, spoke.
Are you okay?
Clover looked away. What are you talking about?
What? I'm just worried about you. You've been real quiet.
What? I can't be quiet if I want to?
Well, I mean, of course you can. I just...
Okay then. If I can be quiet, if I want, just leave me alone. Okay?
Come on, you know I can't do that. We gotta work together.
Clover bit her lip and was silent for a moment, then suddenly...
Junpei, you just don't get it!
Oh yeah, I'm the only one solving these puzzles. I forgot.
Go do your job! Her cry took Junpei by surprise, and he stumbled back a few steps, alarmed.
My brother's not the kind of person to just leave me behind! Something happened to him. Something bad.
Junpei had nothing to say. Lotus, jolted from her mannequin nightmares by Clover's voice, turned toward them. What happened? Clover's eyes slid to Lotus, then back to Junpei.
Look, just don't bother me, okay? Leave me alone.
She finished and turned away. Around. Before Junpei and Lotus could say anything, Clover began to walk away, quickly.
Hey! Wait, Clover! Hold on!
He might as well have been talking to a wall for all the notice she took of his cries. Not even slowing down, she made for a doorway cut in the wall in front of her. Without even slowing down, she passed through the doorway. And we have a problem. Great job, Clover. Without warning, an iron gate fell from the ceiling like a...
Portcullis.
Thank you, portcullis. Sealing Clover in.
What the heck? What's going on here?
Clover grabbed hold of the iron bars and shook them as hard as she could.
Hang on! I'll get it open!
Junpei grabbed the bars and pulled. Yeah, that's gonna work. In a moment, Lotus joined him.
If he's pulling up, maybe.
Oh, okay, pointing up, okay. The three of them pulled as hard as they could, but...
Damn it! It's not moving!
Wait! Are you just gonna give up like that?
No, I'm not giving up! This has gotta be another one of Zero's puzzles.
If it is, then there's gotta be a way to open it. Junpei nodded.
That's what I was thinking. Now all we gotta do is find it. Lois and I can look around out here. Clover, you're gonna have to see if you can find anything in there.
Oh, yes! I'm on it! Do. Find a way out. Alright. So we got a robot.
But we have really thick glass. I don't even think a bullet could break it.
Junpei! Do something, please!
How's it going?
Quick! Figure out how I'm gonna get out of here!
Fine, maybe I won't be civil.
I gave her an annoying voice because she seems like a brat.
Booze.
Ethanol. I wonder if this is for an antiseptic. Oh, it says
Anhydrous
ethanol. Okay.
So, ethanol without water? Anhydrous? That different from the regular ethanol?
Come on. That's common knowledge. No, it's not! Anhydrous is a powerful cleaner. It can even erase marks left by permanent marker.
Okay.
Anything at the... No? Just
Nope.
just by itself? Okay.
Nothing on the lid.
It's common knowledge, my ass. Did you know that ethanol is used in some alcoholic drinks? Hey, if it was common knowledge, wouldn't he know that?
So does that mean you can use booze to clean up marker graffiti?
Well, I don't know about that. I'd rather drink it than use it to clean.
Don't drink that.
I'm not going to drink it. Jeez. These lockers are a little larger than the ones on top.
Let's see if there's anything useful in here. And no. Nothing. It's been a while. A couple vertical lockers. There's anything useful in them. I'm imagining these are locked, but may as well. A whole bunch of steel lockers. Nine on the right, all have little red lights on them. Red lights, huh? Well, can't hurt to give these babies a try. Yeah, just as I thought. Locked tight, all 9 of them.
I wonder if there's anything important in there. Is that a monitor over there?
It is.
Yeah.
This is the computer. The power isn't on. No, there is a power button.
This is a waste of time.
What?
I don't see a power cable.
Yeah, you're right. No power cable. This thing isn't even connected to a main computer, though. It's got a monitor, keyboard, mouse. That's it. Just sticking the power cable in isn't going to do anything.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Right?
What?
The mouse.
It's just meant to look pretty.
Okay, that's a key. You think this thing's supposed to power that machine in the other room?
Well, it doesn't appear to be doing that. I wonder how we're supposed to turn it on.
This is a keyhole.
This looks like a keyhole for the activation key. There's a lot of stuff here.
I don't know how we could use any of these.
Well, I can say for sure that I do know how to use at least one of these things.
Which one?
The one on top. I think it's a power cable.
Power cable, huh?
Aha!
I'll take that.
Ta-dam!
Combine it with the ethanol.
Be very clean cable.
Oh yes, excellent idea. Let's power up that weird robot body thing while a party member's locked in the room.
Yay!
What could possibly go wrong?
This is like an examination table. There's a creepy mannequin in here, guys. I wonder what this is. This thing here looks like a voltmeter. And is this the control for that? Gosh, there's so many dials.
Why don't you try turning one of them?
No, nothing. There's no power here, guys. I turned the dial a whole bunch, but even if I turn all the switches on, nothing happens. There's something sticking out of the mannequin's head, like wires or something.
What the hell were they doing in there? Huh? Why is she all quiet now?
They were doing experiments on humans, probably.
Oh man, now she looks sad.
How does she know? It's a robot!
I don't know what kind of table this is, but part of it's all black. There's a pen lying over here. I think someone probably used it to make the table black.
Yeah. Well, if they only used that pen on one part of it, there's probably something underneath all that pen. Clover, do you think you can erase it?
Yeah, sure. Oh, this is permanent marker. Jinpei, you know how to erase ink from a permanent marker.
Erasing from a permanent marker, huh?
Yep.
Give me just a minute, Clover. I'll be right back. There's a mannequin lying on the exam table. Can't really see it very well from here, but it looks like there are a bunch of electrodes sticking out of its head.
Can we slide the bottle to her?
Probably.
Can it fit through the bars?
We're gonna find out. Clover, use its ethanol. Should be able to wipe off that permanent ink with it.
What am I gonna wipe with?
Oh, well, your clothes, of course. Kidding! Just kidding.
Do it.
Please don't look at me like that. You're scaring me.
Who cares about your clothes if you're gonna die, kid?
Anyway, could you wipe off that permanent ink? Look, Clover. Right now, at this moment, you're the only person we can depend on. I'm trusting you with this.
You trust me. I feel kind of special.
Come on, Clover. Say goodbye to your precious hoodie,
This mannequin
which
lying
technically is black already. You just write it with the
got a
wipe
bunch
with the
of
black part.
electrodes sticking out of its head. Clover, can you use the cloth on the table?
Use? Huh.
Soak it in ethanol and then use it to wash off all that stuff from the permanent marker, okay?
Right. Okay. So I gotta soak the cloth with ethanol.
Well, she's got the cloth, but she seems to be having a little trouble with the bottle of ethanol.
Is it the safety proof? Child safety proof?
She's 18. When she's ready, I should ask her to get to work on that stuff on the table. The mannequin looks so sad. I admit, I'm starting to feel kind of sorry for it.
Yeah, and then before it turns on.
Soak the cloth in ethanol and... Jimpy! It's working! It's wiping the permanent ink off. Huh. There's some kind of weird drawing under all the permanent ink.
What's the deal with that drawing Clover found? Maybe I should ask her to take another look at the table. Am I getting attached to this thing? Maybe I should give it a name. How about the Science Boy?
I wonder what this is. There's a bunch of numbers in some kind of grid.
You can't see it from here. Clover, you've got a pen and a notebook, right? Could you write those numbers down and hand them to me through the bars?
Okay. Roger.
Science Boy's lying on the table. His poor head is full of electrodes.
Okay.
Here, Junpei. I wrote down all the numbers from the desk on here.
Paper with numbers on it acquired.
Material's been added.
Science Boy is lying on the table. His poor head is full of electrodes. Calculator controls? No, that's
No.
that.
Go back?
Clover's note. There we go.
Yeah, Clover's note. I agree, Hawk. I think he is getting attached to it.
Hey, show Science Boy some respect, okay?
Plenty of respect. I'm just saying you have way too much interest in him.
No judging. 4, 3, 2. Okay, so we don't have anything that's grid-based just yet. But we do have
A computer.
under the power cable. So one end of the cable needs to be connected to a monitor, and the other end needs to be plugged in under the desk. Alright, let's just slip you in. Huh? Well, shoot, I can't use this.
What's wrong?
This cable has 3 prongs, but the socket only has 2 holes. It's not gonna fit, is what I'm saying.
In other words, we're going to need a plug to change the power cable to one with 2 prongs.
That's right.
Not to mention, like, where's the tower for that thing?
Stands for various pieces of equipment. Some of them might be useful. I'm not gonna investigate, but some of them might be useful.
There are 2 levers here. Do you think they activate something?
Oh, why don't you move one?
All right, I'll give it a try. Nope. It doesn't look like anything happened. The hands on the clock have stopped moving.
The clock may stop, but time goes on. No time to screw around. We need to figure out a way out of here. I wonder what this cable is connected to.
Okay, one side of this thing is in the room with us. The other side extends to the laboratory where Clover is. In other
words, the console in front of us is connected to the device in the laboratory.
This looks like the control for some kind of electric lock. The red light is on.
It's gotta be locked.
There's a green light just below it. Although that one isn't lit.
I bet it'll turn on if we can unlock it, right?
Yes, but how are we going to unlock it? There's no keyhole, no card reader, and no keyboard for putting in a password.
I have no idea. This looks like the control for an electronic door lock. There's a red light on the display. That means it's locked. If we can get that light to turn green, then maybe we can get Clover back. Hey, Clover! There's a door over here, too!
Wait! I'll be right there.
I can hear her over there. This door gonna... Damn it! You can't open it! Clover! What about your side?
It won't work! I can't even move the knob!
Hey, Clover, how are the power cables over there?
Huh? What do you mean?
Does the plug have 3 prongs or 2?
I don't know what you're talking about. Let me go look.
She does have to kind of crouch down to get a look under there.
The cable on the monitor has, it's got 2 little metal thingies. What does that mean?
That's it! Okay, can you unplug that cable and bring it over here?
Okay, but... Well, I can unplug it, but it's connected to the main computer. I can't take it over to you.
Damn it. That's no good then.
Well, how about just the plug?
What?
Well, the plug. Well, maybe more like, connector. It's the sort of thing that makes the plug with 3 metal thingies into a thing with 2 metal thingies. Still useless?
Not useless! Not useless at all! That's just what we were looking for!
It's called an adapter, little one.
Okay. Can you hold on for a little bit?
And back down she goes.
Alright. Unplugged. I'll hand it to you over the bars, okay? Here you go. The 2-prong plug.
Thanks. Okay. With the 2-prong plug onto the head of this power cable. Alright, I've got the 2-prong power cable in my hand. Pretty sure this will work. Under the desk I go. And let's just plug this thing into the monitor. Alright, that ought to do it.
All right, let's turn on the power.
I don't think anything's gonna happen.
Why not?
Well, it's not connected to the main computer. Congratulations, you got the unsafe power cable.
You'll never know until you try.
Pretty optimistic.
I don't know. Junpei pushed the button on the front of the monitor. With a soft hum, it turned on. Aha! Streams of letters that made no sense to Junpei began to scroll across the screen. He had hoped it would turn on, but he hadn't expected this.
Huh? It's actually working?
So it would seem.
Isn't that kinda weird?
What?
Well, it's not connected to the main computer, right? It's just this keyboard and monitor.
I know, where the hell's the information coming from?
The only cable connected to this thing is the power cable we just plugged in. So, why is it working?
Maybe it's a wireless display? Clearly, this was a reasonable explanation to Lotus.
Wireless display?
Yes, it connects to your computer wirelessly. Hence the name. Have you been living in a cave, Junpei? He most certainly had not, but...
Is that normal?
Yes, at least where I worked.
Eh?
Uh-huh. As they spoke, lines of letters suddenly stopped and disappeared. The only thing left on the screen was the word pass, followed by a colon. It looks like we need to enter a password.
Again. There must be a hint around here somewhere.
Could you go take a look?
Yeah, I'm on it. What are you gonna do?
I'll see if there's something I can do about this on my own.
On your own?
Yep, on my own. Lotus pulled over the nearest chair and dropped herself down onto it in front of the keyboard. For a second, she stared at the screen. She kneaded her knuckles, her hands, knuckles popping, and twisted her back left, then right. All right, let's kick some ass. Lotus smiled to herself and rubbed her hands together in anticipation. Then, before Junpei had time to blink, she was typing at an incredible speed, the click-clack of the keys running together like a machine gun fire.
What?
Junpei was, for once, at a loss for words. Didn't expect that, did you?
Of course I didn't! What kind of job do you have? What are you?
I'm unemployed at the moment. I used to work for a cybersecurity firm, but I quit.
Why?
Lotus blinked. Huh? Oh, it was just something. She stopped typing for a moment and her face fell. This was not an avenue of questioning to be pursued, Junpei realized, and quickly shut his mouth. Lotus' fingers began to move again, and in a few seconds she was back up to speed. As she typed, more letters and symbols that meant nothing to Junpei began to pour across the screen.
What are you doing now?
I'm going to try and brute force it.
Brute... what?
A brute force attack is, well, the sort of version that I just attack the thing. Head on. The long version. Without looking up or slowing down, she began to explain. A brute force attack is one of the simplest ways to break a cipher, she told him. It checks every possible combination until it finds the right one. For a complex cipher, it can take a very long time.
Simple. Not efficient. Unless it's like A.
The thought of doing something like that made Junpei feel tired, but Lotus explained that she was writing a program that would run just such an attack on its own.
I've had to do something similar. Not for a password, but...
It's not the most elegant solution, certainly. But given the circumstances, there isn't much else I can do. Even as she talked, her fingers never slowed or missed a key. Junpei couldn't help but feel a bit odd. Oh, but back to what we were talking about earlier.
What were we talking about?
The wireless display. It's kind of strange if you think about it, isn't it?
Huh?
How do I put it? Well, let's say you write a program that calculates an addition problem for you, all right? So you enter 1 + 1 The screen will show you too. See? Isn't that strange?
No? Not really.
Oh, come on now. Of course a caveman like you would think it was strange. You said so just a moment ago. You were just not getting it, are you? Who calculated 1 plus 1?
The main computer, right? It says connected to the monitor wirelessly.
Yeah, but someone who grew up in a cave wouldn't know that, right? They'd probably think that this thing here, the monitor, was doing the calculating. And once they've decided that, they'll start examining this monitor. They might poke the screen or something. Ah, I see. The color changes when I press it here. Then they might investigate the hardware on the inside. Ah, I see. So this wire supplies the power. Eventually, they might even cut the wires. Ah, yes, just as I expected. When this wire is cut, no results appear. Therefore, it must be that this device which does the calculations. But the truth is that, just like you said, the computer is doing the calculating. But these cave people wouldn't know that, because they have no idea what the monitor and the computer are connected, wirelessly. Lotus continued to type. Junpei scratched his head.
So, what are you trying to say?
Nothing. Really. It's just, I thought maybe... What if the relationship between human beings and our brains is like that?
Huh?
Well, let's say you stick a bunch of electrodes into parts of the brain. A scientist examining the signals they send out might say, interesting, so stimulating this part of the brain causes this person to see colors. That must mean this neuron cluster controls that function. Okay, let's see what happens when I cut out this part. Ah, just what I thought. Cutting off this part ceases the function. No, causes the function to cease. Either way. Therefore, human thought process must occur in the human brain. You get it? It's just like this monitor. Maybe the brain is just an output device, like this monitor. Maybe our thought processes actually occur somewhere else, in a main body. We just don't know it. We can never even think about it. Just like those cave people wouldn't know about wireless communication. We can't imagine that there's some unknown medium that transfers information into our brains, where we experience that information as thoughts. Junpei didn't say anything. Not so much because he had no retort. No, her argument just seemed silly, and he was a little surprised to be hearing something like that from her. The brain is just an output device? Human thought actually occurs somewhere else? Did Lotus really think that, he wondered. It's a little creepy, Junpei thought. It sounded altogether too much like a bizarre cultish religion. Maybe that's the cause of Seven's amnesia. Oblivious to Junpei's increasing discomfort, Lotus continued. If memory is actually stored somewhere else in some sort of main body, somewhere, maybe he hasn't forgotten anything at all. He's just having a difficult time assessing his memory because the monitor,
Accessing, by the way.
Accessing his brain has been damaged. I suppose that would explain aphasias and blind sight, too. Perhaps they actually can speak or see. The monitor just isn't functioning properly. I guess people with
prosopagnosia.
Thank you. Prosopagnosia could be suffering from the same thing.
Wait a minute. What?
Thank you, Junpei. I'm not the only one that knows all these new words. He knew that aphasia was from watching medical dramas on TV, and blind sight was easy enough to guess, but he'd never heard the word prosopagnosia. For what? You've never heard fuck this word?
Prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia. It's a mouthful, man. Lotus spun it around in her chair to look at him. Junpei just shrugged and shook his head. Me too.
Nope. What is it?
Well, to put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's, or even yours. So they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to. Usually they can make do by associating people with other things, their voices, their clothes, their hair.
Does that mean other people's faces look like blanks?
No, I don't think so. You've seen monkeys like in a zoo, right? To you and me, all the monkey faces look the same, even though they're obviously got faces. It's almost impossible for a human to distinguish between them. The zoo staff that works with them would learn to identify different monkeys eventually, but you or I couldn't unless I had a scar or something else to set it apart. That's how people would be to someone with prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia, huh? Didn't even know that kind of thing existed.
Junpei did his best to act as though the entire lecture hadn't gone entirely over his head.
And, what were we talking about?
The idea that your brain is just an output device like a monitor.
Are you serious about that stuff?
Not really. I was just kidding for about half of it.
What about the other half?
Well, I guess I was just adulting.
Not funny.
Lotus's smile had something rather masochistic to it. It's nothing more than a story I made up out of boredom. Don't take it seriously. It was the first thing that came to mind, and I just talked about it to kill time. But it looks like I don't need to talk anymore.
Why?
I don't have to kill time any longer. As she spoke, Lotus raised her right arm high and brought it down on the enter key. The program took only seconds to analyze the system. Chunks of text flickered on and off in quick succession, and then a line of numbers appeared, blinked, and disappeared. The screen cleared, and all that was left was the word accepted. Piece of cake. Lotus would clearly have patted herself on the back if it had not made her look entirely ridiculous. After a few seconds, the accepted word disappeared to be replaced with... Ooh.
Oh, that looks familiar.
9 squares arranged in a 3x3 square.
What the hell is that?
No idea. It looks like a puzzle. Suddenly, Lotus stood up.
Huh? Aren't you gonna, I don't know, do more computer stuff?
I can't do any more. It won't let me do any more programming. See the keyboard? Nothing. So there's nothing more I can do. Well, I guess I'll leave this to you then, Junpei.
What?
Let me take a break, alright? I did my part.
Someone did something.
I know, right? It's amazing! Holy crap! He wasn't sure what to say to that. She certainly had done her part. In fact, without Lotus, they probably would have run completely aground. I shouldn't rely on other people so much, Junpei thought to himself. From here on out, he told himself, he would rely on no one else.
Fuck you, game.
Really? Really? Junpei crossed his arms and stared at the puzzle shown on the screen. That's the game literally telling you, okay, no more freebies. The NPCs are going to be useless from now on.
So when I press one of the panels, the colors of the ones next to it switch. It looks like there's some text here. All panels green equals unlock. Restriction, no more than 4 attempts. Will automatically reset after failure. I could probably puzzle this out, but I've got a clue in my inventory, so I'll use that.
And
In other words, I'll have to get all the panels green and less in 4 tries. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that looks like a reasonable solution.
yep.
No, you don't have to.
No. Oh, come on.
I got it. I got it. Alright! I solved it!
You did it! Did you hear a noise just now?
Yeah, I did. It sounded like something unlocking.
Where did it come from?
Hello.
Hello?
Can't click on the top screen.
Look, Junpei! The lights on the lockers are green.
We must have unlocked it with the computer puzzle.
Ta-da!
That is correct, Hawk. You could have done that in any order.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. Easy solution. More than one key in here.
This one is small and looks like it goes into some sort of machine. And this one has the Earth symbol on it.
I think the Earth symbol matches a keyhole in a door on the A deck.
Well, if that's the case, we probably didn't need the Earth key right now.
Alright then, Earth key. I'll just tuck you away deep in my pocket.
You have big pockets.
As for the other key,
Ta-da!
activation key. Wonder where that goes.
It was just at that moment that he heard a voice behind him. It was Clover. Hey, Junpei! Do you have a moment? He put the puzzle aside for the moment and walked over to Clover.
What's up?
I wanted to ask you something.
Hmm?
Junpei, you went into door 5 with my brother, right? Did you hear him say anything weird?
Why was she asking this? Junpei wondered. The more he thought about it, however, the more it made sense. Snake had gone for a long time. Clover was quite attached to her brother, but of course she would have been worried about him. He thought back to when he'd gone through door 5, hoping he might remember something, even a small something, that would help her. However, fateful ellipses.
Sorry, Clover. I can't really think of anything. I mean, he did mention that his hearing exceeds that of a regular person or something like that, but that's about it.
Okay.
Clover's words were barely audible. She nodded vaguely to Junpei and turned to walk away.
Hey, wait a minute. Look, I don't know if I should ask you things, but if you don't mind, I was hoping you could tell me if, is Snake, was he born?
You're talking about his eyes?
Yeah.
No. He wasn't born blind. When he was a kid, he got into an accident. A really bad car accident. He couldn't see after that. And his arm...
His arm?
Yeah. My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. It's fake. It's not a real arm. The accident hurt him real bad. To save him, they had to cut off his arm. Is that all you wanted to ask me?
Talking about her brother had clearly taken a great deal out of Clover. Junpei nodded.
Look, I'm sorry. Making you talk about all that painful stuff.
Clover only shook her head and walked off down the stairs.
I wonder if I can get that back.
So he
Don't need
has
the
a
computer anymore.
removable
Nope.
arm.
This key. Shape sure makes it seem like it goes into this machine. Alright, I'm turning it on. Okay, the monitor is on now. And it's full of letters.
It's showing some kind of warning. Power restored to experimental device. Emergency system will activate in the event of abnormal subject behavior. Okay. Yes, he has a removable left arm. Yes, that's true. At least I think so, Hawk.
I'll have to look more closely.
All the pictures look like they were of left arms. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn they were.
Hawk is supposing that this bracelet is on his false arm.
Mm-hmm.
Science boy's lying on the table. His poor head is full of electrodes.
Junpei! Jimmy, this thing here is on now.
Yeah, that's because we activated the power over on this side. Could you, like, play with it a little?
What? Okay. Yeah. I'll turn on this dial here.
Yeah, that's what I think too, Hawk.
I don't think it's working. Nothing happened.
Well, maybe she missed something. I should ask her to look around the room again. This is the monitor. There are a whole lot of cables under this table.
I wonder what they washed here. What are these weird colored stains all over the sink? It's a rack. There are a bunch of cables on it. Somebody cut the outer stuff off the cables. I can see the wires inside. I guess this drain is for water, huh? Well, there's nothing here.
The wash basin, more commonly known as a sink.
Junpei, thank you so much for everything.
Oh, well, what's this all about?
And also, I'm sorry I messed up.
Hey, we can talk about this when we get you out, okay? Just hang on, Clover. I'm gonna get you out of this right away.
You hope that drain is for water.
Yay!
I think that was the first time I've actually seen a genuine smile out of this chick. Let me get Clover out of there. I think about the room that's changed. That lever is down now. Not very impressive.
Try the other one. Click the other one.
It highlights the whole thing.
Okay. About the clock again? The cables. Boxes on the lockers? Are there boxes on lockers?
Oh, up here. It's a cardboard box. There's some papers and stuff in it.
What's in the box? I mean, what's in the box?
Severed head.
Looks like it's quite full.
As far as I can tell, it's a bunch of notes about some kind of experiments. It's all really technical and stuff. I don't really get it.
Give it to me. What about the clock?
We clicked on it.
I know it doesn't work, but too bad you can't turn it on. Take it off the wall or something. Yeah, give them the lotus. Maybe if you increase the voltage.
Roger. Will do. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way up to max voltage.
Why do something half-ass? Full-ass all the way.
Yep.
Max voltage? Hey, wait, Clover! Ah, shit.
What? I think,
Oh shit. Ah!
Oh my god! The mannequin's head!
Oh man, that sounds like a fire alarm. Yeah, what the hell?
Fire detected. Fire detected. The emergency system will now activate. Evacuate the room immediately.
This boy's head is on fire. Science boy! No! Oh, the humanity!
What the hell is Science Boy? Are you talking about the mannequin?
Yes!
Forget about the mannequin! You need to help Clover now!
But Science boy! Damn!
Damn it!
The gate's still shut!
That's kind of weird that it isn't open. But then again, Majesty's just, it's on fire. Clover's on the other side of this gate. She's in pretty bad shape. You put out the... What are you doing, Junpei? You need to save Clover now!
Oh, hey.
Ah, they're open.
Control device for the electronic door lock. Green light is on.
Alright. Junpei, look at the light.
Yes, it's green! Emergency system is activated and disabled the lock! Now we can save Clover!
Junpei!
Come on, kid. Jump!
Jump?
She's safe! Oh, man, that smoke is some serious business. I'm gonna close the door again, I think.
Did the sink not work?
Clover! Are you okay? Are you hurt? Damn, she's coughing so hard she can't even talk. Also, grated door. Smoke's still coming in.
Of course I'm not alright! What the hell took you so long, you big jerk? I almost died!
I was almost dead.
I was almost dead.
Sorry. I was going as fast as I could.
You two can do this later. Right now... Whoa, okay. The fire's not going to stay in that room forever. And the door is open. So, technically her setting it on fire was part of the clue. You did it! Junpei, Clover, and Lotus leapt out of the laboratory, slamming the door shut behind them. All three collapsed against the wall, breathing heavily. Junpei's heart was pounding in his chest, and his whole body felt weak. He inhaled gulps of clear air, and with each one, he could feel his body begin to calm down.
Alright. Let's go.
They nodded to each other and started off down the hallway. Before long, they found a few new doors, but all of them were locked. Soon, they had tried all the doors but one. The final door sat in a corner of the hallway.
So, guys, we did get the Earth Key. However, we may not actually have as many hours left as you said we would. It's possible that the ship might go up in flames before then.
Yeah, or at least fill up with toxic smoke. Junpei grabbed the door handle and was able to pull it open when...
I was about to
pull it when a voice cried out behind him. It was neither Clover nor Lotus, but he recognized it. There was no doubt the voice behind belonged to...
Junpei!
He spun around. There, at the other end of the hall, Junpei saw human figures running toward him. 3 of them. June, Santa, and Seven. They stopped short in front of Junpei and his companions, gasping for air.
Hey, what are you guys doing here? What? But we didn't...
Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Guys, could you come over here?
She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she found. There was something on the wall at the end of the hallway.
A map of the ship's interior.
It said C deck on the upper left corner. Most likely, they assumed it was a map for the floor they were on. Door 7 and Door 8. The map confirmed that what they already knew. Both doors eventually led to the hallway where they had found themselves. In fact...
Yeah, isn't that what I said? Till we find that 9 door, Zero ain't gonna split us up. Might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we can't open door 9. That's how the nonary game works.
Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again. As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to weariness. One by one, the others saw what he'd seen. As one, they all moved back toward the door Junpei had only a moment ago been ready to open. He pulled the map of the ship's interior off the wall and put it in his pocket and followed the others. The 6 of them stopped in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke without holding back the other 5.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
They nodded, their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door and entered the Twilight Zone. They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were. They were just where the map had said they would be. The same room they'd been in not so very long ago. Ta-da! The tremendous central hospital room with empty beds from wall to wall. Fateful ellipses.
I see.
And we can skip.
Yay, skipping.
Skippy time!
The
Ugh.
key.
Isn't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Here.
Seven tossed something small and metallic toward Junpei. He caught it and found that the object was a key. Ta-da! On it, someone had engraved the symbol very similar to a 4. He looked over at June, who nodded back, and he waved it in the air and transformed. He held that to be the Jupiter symbol.
I would pay money to not see that.
I'm gonna let you hold on to that, alright?
Yeah, got it.
Well, I've got something for you too, then. Here. It's the Saturn keycard we found in the kitchen. I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to it. That way it won't be my fault if it gets lost. And with that, she presented it to Junpei's hand. He felt slightly less than honored. As the group, they now had 3 keys that had not been used. The Earth key, which had been found in the laboratory. The Jupiter key, which Seven had just handed to Junpei. The Saturn key, which Lotus had just handed to Junpei. Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up. The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of the long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. And next to the stairs...
Wait! And we skip. I want my brother. Where is he? Me. And I'm not leaving without him and stuff. We're gonna go look. We're gonna go check. I'm not gonna get the best results. I don't think so. I'm gonna go looking. Of course there's a reason.
You think we are stupid? Man, sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky. Huh? This.
Junpei pulled 2 things out of his pockets. The Saturn key card. And the Earth key. Santa cocked his head to one side like an inquisitive bird and looked at them. After several long moments during which some apparent that Santa had no idea what the cards meant, June took pity on him. Don't you remember, Santa? On C deck, where we are now, there was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember? And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And on A deck, on the door to the left, there was a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it, I think. So the 2 keys that Junpei has...
Should let us use the elevator on the door on A deck. Huh.
Yes, that's right. June smiled, pleased with herself. So did Santa.
Alright, I got it. Let's get started then. When you say we split into 2 teams, Lois and I will search the Earth one, so you 2 can search Saturn, alright? Sounds good.
Junpei handed the Earth key to Santa. They decided that their next initial search would be brief, only 10 minutes. They'd meet back on the staircase once they were done. So we're back here. Is this skippable?
Not yet.
Okay. Junpei and June head for the stairs.
Elevator.
Sure enough, there was a card reader bolted to the wall next to the left elevator. He lined up the Saturn key and slipped it through the card reader. The light on the upper left corner blinked to life.
Great. Looks like it's working now.
All right. Now, how do I call the elevator? It was a single button to the right of the elevator door. On the button was the upside-down triangle, the universal symbol for down. It didn't appear to be an up button. Junpei pushed it. He didn't have much of a choice. Talk. So which option will you select that is clearly the most important choice in the game? It opened. Look, Junpei. June's voice was excited, but Junpei could hear a twinge of anxiety.
Sweet! It opened. Let's get going.
He grinned at June and stepped forward toward the door, and she stopped him, and they could only go down.
You sure?
I think it'll be a repeat of something we've already done. I think it was funnier the first time. Let's not milk it and make it old.
I mean, we'd skip over it, so...
Yeah. She was afraid that because the only elevator button pushed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. As he thought about it, Junpei realized he hadn't seen the elevators on A or B decks near the central staircase, all of which meant that the elevator could only convey them to the lower decks. The floor below the one they were on D deck could be completely submerged. That meant...
Hey, wait a minute.
And so we skip, and so they test. And we're okay. We go down, through here.
He'd probably die.
Oh, don't be so casual about something like that. And
I don't know why it said I had to stop there, but...
I don't know.
That one line is important.
Very, very important. Back up here. Do. Jumpy. And then they got the bad news. They found Snake. And it was messy. Now, there was something that I saw when we saw the body, and I really want to get a better look at... Okay, stop! LLR. Going so fast! He spelled something in the door. Or someone spelled it. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me a guy with his gut exploded was able to write something on the wall? Fishy.
Is Zero still on the ship with us?
Yes. Wasn't sure.
You sure? Are you sure you're not sure?
Oh, I don't know. Do you think this would change the dialogue a little bit?
It would.
Let's say Junpei wasn't sure. He wasn't sure.
Hey, I'm just wondering about one thing. And what's that? How can you be so sure that Zero's on this ship?
His eyebrows shut up.
Really, Junpei? I confess I'm a little disappointed. Usually you're rather sharp. Isn't it obvious? Obvious? How so? This ship. Huh? Zero said this ship several times when he addressed us.
Oh yeah, it's a type of grammar. I am Zero, the captain of this ship. Purpose of the game is simple. Leave the ship alive. As you have no doubt surmised, this ship has begun to sink.
If he weren't here, he wouldn't say this ship, now would he? He'd be saying something like that ship, or the ship.
Not necessarily, you know.
Oh.
Especially as ownership, even from a distance.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Ace's explanation made perfect sense. Junpei felt a little foolish he hadn't seen it himself. Still, he was left with a question, and that was of no small importance.
Zero's on this ship. Where is he?
The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Hawk. That's what I was thinking, too. He'd just be messing with you in the way he talks, too. He seems like that kind of person.
Well, that's possible.
Huh?
Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us.
What are you saying, Junpei? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason. No reason? I've got a great reason. And what's that? The bracelets.
He held out his left arm.
Why are the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then you could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It would be a lot more precise, and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off to the detonator in the bracelet? Huh. You got a point. I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the Nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why is that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that?
Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. It was Santa who answered.
So, let's say you and Clover are right. Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us, or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right? Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
7. When we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Alright then, I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like, Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right?
Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation.
So what do we get if we combine those? They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever kills Snake equals Zero equals one of us. 7 and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well. At least they do if Zero is one of us.
No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure if they believed him or not. Finally, Lotus spoke up. What were his motives?
His motives?
Yes. Isn't that pretty important? Why would Zero want to hide as one of us?
Oh. Well, that's because,
Junpei choked. He hadn't thought of that, and he had to be honest with himself. He had no idea.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed. Well, not so much for making persuasive argument, Junpei.
In other words, you had only circumstantial evidence. I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know?
Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him and their disapproval. He tried to find something else, anything else to look at. Just when he felt he could bear it no longer... The clock. It tolls.
We need to move, now. 7, Clover, Junpei. I know how you feel, but you do understand that. Right now, it's important we trust one another, don't you?
Junpei couldn't bring himself to respond. He swallowed the words he wanted to say and sighed. 7 and Clover remained simply quiet.
Similarly so.
I know, I want to say it like that, though.
Okay.
Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going. And we're gonna skip again. Do-do. Doors, and more doors, and we're picking. So. And they're gonna fight. That was fun. That was kind of funny. All right, so we
go through door one.
Door number 1.
My choice is door 1.
Santa was unconvinced.
Hey, wait a minute there. You cheating? Cheating? I'm asking if you changed your number after you heard what doors we wanted. How can I do that? I wrote it down on the paper earlier. Let me see that.
Junpei shrugged and handed it to him. Santa examined it furiously. The others peered at it as well.
No, door 2 has a goat behind it. Would you like door 6?
As they did, Junpei quickly slipped the piece of paper he'd been hiding into his pocket. Although he'd never know it now, Santa had been justified in his suspicions. Junpei had switched papers. Naughty, naughty. He had prepared 3 pieces of paper for the doors 1, 2, and 6, and the paper with the door 6 on it in the pot. He put a small mark on it so that he would know which one it was. He put the paper that said door 1 in his left hand and the paper that read door 2 in his right. When the drawing began, he saw to it that he drew the last. The rest was easy. If he wanted to go into door 1, he'd use his left hand, and his right hand if he wanted to use door 2. Of course, if he wanted door 6, that would be simple. All I needed to do was switch nothing and say 6 had been what he wanted all along. I was wondering how he did that.
Well, what does it say?
He fought the urge to smirk.
You got lucky.
Santa snorted and tossed the paper aside, frustrated.
Very well. We've decided who will go through door 1. It'll be Clover, Junpei, and myself.
And we got the
Our only problem is the 2 remaining teams. June and I want to go door 6.
Lotus and I want door 2.
That's not good. We can't open we can't open either of those doors with only 2 people. Fine. 7 will go through door 6.
Sure thing. I don't really want to go through door 2 anyway. Besides, if we've got a younger girl with us, it'll lower the average age. Right, June?
Well, June was at a loss for words. Lotus was not. What a pig. You just wait and see. Her voice were the eyes of a woman prepared to kill. A shiver ran down Jupiter's spine. Even after they separated at the staircase, Lotus was still muttering angrily to herself. Circumstances dictated that Junpei and June would have to part ways again, but this time it didn't sting quite so much. After all, he knew he would see her again.
Till we find that 9 door, Zero ain't gonna split us up. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we can't open door 9. That's how the nonary game works.
Fateful ellipses! Junpei, Ace, and Clover headed toward A deck. They took out the Earth key and opened the door to the left. It opened, and they walked through. What we got? Door 1. It was just as Santa and Lotus had said. At the end of the hallway sat a door with a large red 1 on it. A numbered door. To the left of it, bolted to the wall, was the red. Ace went first, waved his wrist over the scanner panel. Junpei was next. Finally, listlessly, Clover lifted her arm. She leaned toward the scanner panel. The third asterisk clicked to life, shining brightly. Ace took hold of the lever, took a deep breath, and turned to Junpei and Clover.
Are you ready? Shall I pull it? Yeah, anytime.
I agree, Hawk. Those are definitely left hands. Clover said nothing. She nodded, little more than a lethargic twitch of her head.
Very well then, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Da-da. And run! The door opened. They stumbled into the room. Frantically, Junpei scanned the room. There it is. Eyes stopped on the device that would determine whether they lived or died.
There it is! Over there!
Next to the door they'd come through was the dead. As one, they ran to it. Why did they need to run if it was right there? Okay, anyway. They put their hands over it as they were fighting for it.
Because it's on the other side of the room.
As if they were fighting for it. Ta-da!
It stopped. Yes, it did.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Ace and Clover were breathing hard and fast. It was the third time they'd been through the process, and they had yet to grow accustomed to it.
Oh.
Yeah, see? Isn't that weird?
Text said it was beside the door they came in through. Still, panic situation.
It's like they ran to it! Not that Junpei wanted to. He planned to finish the game before he got a chance to let imminent death become commonplace. Scanned it in and walked away with it. Oh! That'd be weird. Junpei looked around again, this time more slowly. There was another door different from the one they entered through. He took hold of the knob and easily, gently pulled it open. Woo!
So, this is the wheelhouse.
Yay! He closed the door again and turned to Ace and Clover. He fixed each in turn with a meaningful stare, then spoke.
Ace, you investigate the wheelhouse next door.
Very well.
Clover, you're in charge of this room. Say something!
Okay, I will.
Alright then. Let's get started.
I don't care about your brother being dead. Move! This is your room! And you will
Okay.
stay here.
So Hawk wonders if someone could have stuck their arm through the door, scanned the dead, and then walked away without going into the puzzle.
I don't know.
So
I guess it would depend if the door would shut before they were capable of getting
I
out.
think this over here is the door with the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no door close to that. They had plenty of room to run. Sweet, a clock.
Too loud.
Might possibly violate the rule about the bracelet passing through the doorway. That's another thing. If there was such a scenario, then you go and hit the dead. The other people have to confirm it with pulling the lever. And then as you come out of the room again, you'd activate it again.
I'm a little cold.
A voice he hadn't expected startled Junpei from examination of the pocket watch.
Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
He spun around to find Ace standing in the doorway. Junpei shrugged and handed him the pocket watch.
Hey man, what are you doing over in this room?
Oh, I just thought I'd come check up on the two of you. Is there a problem?
Weren't you supposed to look for shit? So yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Ace's eyebrows went up.
You checked on us, now get out of here.
Wow, he's such an ass.
We split this stuff up for a reason, alright?
Junpei caught himself. Why had he said that? There had been no reason to speak to Ace that way. Junpei felt off somehow. Ace opened his mouth and took another look at Junpei and shut it again, a small smirk on his face.
Oh ho, I see, of course.
He looked Junpei over, then glanced at Clover.
I apologize for the intrusion.
Oh my gosh!
Well, best of luck.
Wow, Ace! Ace gave Junpei a knowing pat on the shoulder and left. Really? For no reason he could fathom, apparently, Junpei's head began to hurt. A sharp, piercing pain. A sharp pain in his head. Fateful ellipses. How much time had passed, he wasn't sure. But he did notice when Ace strode through the door. His smile was more of a smirk, and he had the air of a man who knew more than his opponent.
Yes, there was something I wanted to check, if you don't mind. Yeah, it's that. Pardon me.
With no warning, Ace slipped his hand into the pocket of Junpei's vest.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
He reached for Ace's arm, but it was already too late. The older man's hand were the pieces of paper Junpei had balled up and hidden in his pocket.
Just as I thought. You switched them, didn't you? When we voted.
Ooh.
Oh well. I can't say that I care. I managed to get through the numbered door I wanted, despite your mischief. And why did you... Oh, simply curiosity. I hope you won't think ill of me for it.
Ace smiled, gave Junpei a friendly pat on the shoulder, then turned on his heel and left. It was a small defeat, but it was a defeat. Junpei had lost the upper hand, and he knew it. He could feel his stomach begin to tense. Fateful ellipses. It's a wooden box.
Hey, Clover. You ever write letters? Nothing. Shelves are lined with books. Let's see what's in the blue one.
Just gonna grab my...
Nothing written on it. Ship's log. Huh. Ship's log, huh? Wait, is that seriously all we're getting out of it?
Please tell me they start with Captain's log.
Oh. Ship's log found in the chart room. The following is written on the last page. We leave soon for a new journey across the sea. After leaving port, we head south and west. We turned southwest to steer around the continent, then proceeded northwest. We made port, then changed our heading to east for a time, and now we're heading due north. Soon we will dock in the United Kingdom, the homeland of this vessel. Okay.
How long ago was that written?
This would be a handy thing to have written down. I say as I close it. I'll search around for a bit and then I'll bring it up again. So maps.
The maps that lead to you. Alright. We're only gonna open one? Seriously?
Apparently.
Look at all the different Really?
Right. Looks kind of like a wilted flower.
Oh, if you can leave it up for a bit, he'll copy it into the chat. Alright, Hawk. Ship's log. There you go. Narrating is thirsty business. How old is this log? Is it the same log? Or a copy of it? Considering how old this is supposed to be and the type of journal it looks like.
The journal itself looks fairly new.
I know.
And I think this is going to play into a puzzle.
Probably. Wait.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Hawk.
Thank you.
Alright.
Door. The compass. It appears to be broken, however. You see, the glass cover has been smashed to pieces.
Interesting. Sounds like they came from
The hell?
somewhere in Asia.
Well, steering wheel might be a more appropriate term.
Yeah.
This isn't good. So many drawers, but nothing inside of them. A desk. Anything in the drawers? Nope. This thing won't budge. Feels like there's something keeping it in place.
What would be the point of moving it? The ship is stopped. What would be the use of steering it?
Yeah, I know. Still,
Hmm.
I think it's more likely that this is a mirror than another room, Junpei. Well, actually, you'd immediately notice your reflection, so perhaps not.
Hmm.
Hey, it's a picture of a bomb.
Hmm.
Oh, wait.
Really?
Looks like this is the only exit.
Lock.
It's like this is some sort of lock. It's got a weird shaped indentation on it. Huh? The shape. Maybe. Does look like the pocket watch would fit here.
Uh-huh.
Nothing.
I imagine the pocket watch is intended to go in there. However, we may need to do something with the watch first.
Maybe the hands on the watch have to change. Maybe you have to set the watch.
What is this? Some kind of display?
No, it's a vent.
It looks a little like an electronic scoreboard.
Seriously?
I imagine it was added recently.
Wow, I thought it was a vent. Go figure.
A map. Got the Atlantic Ocean in the middle.
Hey, Junpei. What do you think these red things are?
Ports, probably. Yeah, they look like pins.
What do you think they're for?
Who knows?
What do you mean, who knows? Come on, be serious!
I am. Oh. Copy it? A map of the Atlantic Ocean. Well, the nautical charts I picked up earlier have a map like this one. One of them matches up to the pins or something. Let's see. Oh, what do you know? Looks like this one's a match to the pins. Okay, so we've got 7 locations connected by straight lines. Each one has a word next to it. That's probably the speed.
New material. Oh my gosh.
This is going to be easier on paper than on chat. Could you draft this up?
Sure, just a sec. I think I have a notepad here somewhere.
Compass orientation is correct. So don't have to worry about that. East end of Asia, then went to Australia, then Madagascar, then the Cape, then North America, then France, then England.
All right, let's try.
Don't bother with the continents, just get the lines and the words.
Okay.
Thanks for doing the groundwork, Hawk.
I'm drawing the map, kind of. All right, so we want full and half and slow and full and half, and then we want
Dead.
dead and stop. Okay.
Arrival board like in an airport. There's nothing on it right now, though. The plate on the door. There's a 2 scratched. I can't tell what it says.
Junpei, are you trying to open that door? Forget it. It's pointless. I tried it earlier. It won't open. A wooden box. Doesn't look very suspicious. Everything is suspicious. Run a suspicious ship. Shelves are lined with books. They have all to do with sailing.
Oh, these look very useful.
Alright, pocket watch. It won't move.
Oh, hello.
Whoa, okay. Alright.
How did I not notice this up to now? A compass.
And what destiny does it point us to?
I really hope you don't think that sounded cool.
Yes, I suppose you could call it a helm. Steering wheel might be more accurate, however.
There's a circular hole cut into the board.
Let's check these.
This room is just like the other one. Metal plates bolted over the windows.
Heck, not just bolted. It looks like they've been welded on. No way in hell are we going to get those off anytime soon.
Hmm.
An engine order telegraph. They use this on old ships to adjust the speed of the ship.
Yep.
Like the gear shift in a car?
Well, it's a little different. This device doesn't connect directly to the engine. In short, it's a transmitter.
Yeah.
The navigation officer uses it to set the speed of the ship, and it sets a signal to the engine. There's a handle on top of it, which can be moved back and forth to...
Hold on.
Huh?
There's no handle.
You're right. There isn't. Looks as though it was deliberately removed.
Anyway, the signal is sent down to the engine room, where the people that actually work there in the engine room will see it, and then they will know how to manipulate the actual, the furnaces and whatnot to change the direction of the turbines. There you go.
Ah, a human hammer. They're often used to subdue large men like Seven.
What?
That was a joke, of course.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Ace, you really kind of suck at making jokes.
Aww.
That was rather cruel.
I wanted to check the foot padding, but okay. Okay, so we need a handle somewhere. Right drawer. Let's have a look. Nothing. Left drawer. Let's have a look. Nothing.
A chair? Clover isn't very talkative. She kind of looks kind of out of it.
Is she thinking about Snake?
Hmm.
It's a pretty empty desk.
You're not being nice to him this time. My brother's desk look a lot like this. 'Cause he couldn't see, he never put stuff on it, and he didn't need.
Damn, that's... What am I supposed to say to that? Poor kid. A chair.
A chair.
Clover isn't talking much. I guess that's understandable. I mean, she's been through a lot. Really, it's more surprising that she's still together enough to talk at all. I'm not completely overlooking a door, am I? Well, let's examine it. A mechanical pocket watch with a spring. Doesn't appear to be working. Hands have stopped at 5 minutes, 39 seconds past 10 o'clock. Turning the knob does nothing. Yeah, it's probably broken. It looks as though you could move the hands, however.
Okay. Compass. Needle pointing north.
Thank
Yep.
you, Hawk.
10, 5, 39. Thank you, Hawk.
Let's see if this will open. No dice. Must be locked.
Okay.
I know I'm supposed to put the pocket watch in this hole, but...
Can we manipulate the watch? It's odd they're not giving you the function yet. Something else must be triggered first. Can you turn the second helm?
Oh, this is
Ooh.
different. Looks like the steering wheel moves. So it would seem. I know something else as well. What's that? Well, when you move this wheel, the compass also moves. What do you mean? The ship. It's moving. Ha! Tricked you, didn't I? Well, the compass must be connected to one another somehow. Do you think that's important? Well, let's try turning it again. Okay, we made port, then changed our heading to east for a time.
Okay.
And now are now heading due north. Soon we will dock in the United Kingdom, the homeland of this vessel. Oh, wait. I'm starting at the second line.
So we have to go back, maybe? Try again?
Okay,
go.
scrolling up in
Lucid
text, I
journey.
won't see new updates.
After taking port, we headed south and west.
We leave soon for a new journey. After leaving port, we headed south and west. Okay.
Okay.
So let's reset that.
Okay.
Even if I enter directions in
crap.
order. No.
Go up in the chat here. I'll write it down. Guys, hang on. Don't move. Don't type anything into the chat for a second. I'm just gonna write it down.
Well, actually, it mapped out to this. We can just follow this.
Yeah, but I didn't write down the directions though.
You wrote down the lines that
Yeah.
shows us the directions. So first we go south.
Okay.
Okay, and then west. And then southwest. Then northwest. And then
East.
east. And then north. What the? Handle came off. Stooping so low, are you, Zero? And that will get us this. Jot back up. So, sure hope this handle fits. Yes, it fits!
All right.
Excellent.
So we'll probably have to do the order that we saw before.
That should allow us to operate the engine order telegraph. Let's give it a shot.
So we need full. And then half.
Slow. Full.
It's the scoreboard.
Half. Dead. And stop.
Huh? That's weird. I thought I put in the right speed. Did I mess up?
No, I don't think so. Look.
Something's happened on the back wall of the wheelhouse. Yeah, you're right. Let's check it out.
Oh. What we got here?
Something on the wall that looks kind of like an arrival board. There are a whole bunch of words on the left side of the display. What the hell is this?
The names of ports across the world. I imagine it's showing us the ship's route. You know, just like the ones you might see at an airport. Departing XX carrier, XX flight, XX o'clock. Like that.
Oh, I get it. Doesn't it look like those are the names of all the ports along the ship's route? Looks like only one of those has a time on it, though.
The time on the last line, right? 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. Perhaps that's the arrival time.
10 seconds past 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe they'll give us a prompt once we go up to the door.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Go out here, check on Clover.
A lamp.
There's no other clockery.
Hmm.
Oh, perhaps.
Oh, what's he doing?
Excuse me, Junpei.
Hey, he just took my pocket watch.
Ah, he's gonna do it.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
I'm doing one of your puzzles.
Just trust me.
I want to do something too. You gotta do all the fun stuff.
It should be fine now. Well, thanks for giving me the pocket watch back. But you don't need to look... Oh.
Well, thanks for giving me the pocket watch back, but you don't need to look so smug about it. Let's see what he... Oh, you moved the hands. 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. Oh, so you changed it to match the final arrival time.
Ace nodded slowly. You know what to do next, right? Give it a shot.
Alright.
Let's try putting this in there.
Ta-da!
Yes! It says open now.
Good work. It seems you were successful. Well done, Junpei.
Hey! Oh, sorry. Hey! Clover!
What?
Look! We unlocked the door. Now we can get out of this route.
Oh. Well, let's go then.
Clover.
Boing. Enthusiasm like a wet blanket.
Well, that's gonna do it for today.
Okay. Thanks for helping out, Hawk.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Hawk. And I hope everyone enjoyed this session. Should be interesting to see what happens next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, until then, take care.
Bye.